misconceptions. We've got truth in our possession. No room for doubt, no time to waste. It's time to put flat earth in its place. Here comes the smackdown.
Welcome, everybody, to Tuesday Night. I'm your host, MC Toon. I hope you're ready for the SmackDown. I will be debating a flat earther on his own Discord server. And it's the guy, he's QOP, but for some reason, he has a different name that he has for his YouTube channel. It's QIQOPOP, something like that. Anyway, I've got him. Oh, he's even on camera on his Discord server. So I will I'll make sure that you can see him. There it is. All right, here we go. Jumping in to the Discord server now. Hey there, QUp. Can you hear me? So you should, so mute the YouTube stream. There you go. All right. Now they can hear you now on my stream as well. So, let's see. I'll turn on my camera. See if hopefully it works. There we go. How's that?
He's using a green screen. He's in Antarctica.
All right, hold on. I may have to switch this. Can I just want to see the text chat. There it is. All right. So I have the text chat visible on YouTube. So there you go. He's a bit low, they say. All right, I'm going to turn your volume up. All right, QOP. What is the source of your name, QOP?
That's just a palindrome.
That's it.
Symmetry. Yeah.
Why didn't you choose calling yourself Civic?
What?
Civic. CIVIC. It's also palindrome.
I don't like Hondas, except for the Accord.
Yeah, but why not? Why did you? But the Accord isn't a palindrome like Civic is. You could have been Civic. You could have been.
It's not a perfect. It's not horizontally symmetrical on both sides. You know what I mean? Like Civic is two C's. You'd have to be like a parentheses or something.
But you could reverse the one C. Nobody would know. They'd all read it just the same. But when I draw a Q, I put a hook on the bottom, so it still doesn't work. It's not mirrored. You wanted a mirrored palindrome?
Mm.
All right.
Can you turn on your Antarctica background?
I don't know if can I do in Discord, can I do a backdrop? I don't know if I can. I just have this because behind me the wall is just it's actually pretty silly. It's the 70s era wood panel, and then it's painted over white. Just it's so unpretty. So anyway, we've decided on the topic. Right? The topic, we have two topics. I gave you a list and you said you wanted to do which ones? You wanted to do the magnetic field of the earth and bottom up obstruction.
Yeah, you gave me a list.
Yep.
I couldn't pick electric gravity.
Well, yeah, but you said, what about that? And I said, well, we could maybe do that a different time. What about that? That's good for me.
Yeah, magnetism is cool. Hopefully you're gonna, like, when you meant magnetism, I hope you meant like the scientific aspect and not just like appealing to GPS the declination map.
No. The magnetic field of the Earth. So the magnetic field of the Earth has, in any particular location, has three things. There's more to it than that, but there's three things that are of particular notability that are important for people. So right next to the Mall of America, right? So you know where the Mall of America is there in Minneapolis. It's in the suburb of Bloomington. Right next to there is where the line of declination goes, where it's zero declination, and that's the east-west deviation from due north. I don't think that's super interesting in this particular conversation, but it's very important for navigation. I think that the strength of the magnetic field is particularly notable, as is the direction vertically of the magnetic field. Right?
Do you know that?
How would I know what?
The vertical direction of it?
Oh, I measured it myself. I also measured the strength of the magnetic field. Oh, I have here. I'll show you. I have I built a custom magnetometer, and then I had somebody help me on the software because it's somebody that knows a bit more about dealing with like sensitive instrumentation and writing software around them. I write email filtering software, so it's a bit different than what I was needing. So anyway, hold on. I don't know if you're going to care much to see it, though. I did have it. I showed it in some of the videos that I published over on my Conspiracy Tunes channel. Well, I must have taken it out of here. I thought it was in my bag. Sorry, it's not much to see, actually. So it's a little Atom M5. Yeah, it's not in there. Anyway, Atom M5 little microprocessor with a magnetometer on it. So I measured with the magnetometer, I measured the field strength, and then I brought with me a dip compass. So
yeah, I saw you setting up the dip compass. It looked a little flimsy.
So the arms on it are a little sensitive, and it got damaged on the final the flight from Punta Arenas to Union Glacier. So I wasn't able to use the dip compass there, but I was able to use the magnetometer there. But in Punta Arenas, I was able to use the dip compass to measure the dip of the inclination of the magnetic field of the Earth. So here's the question then, right? So we need to be scientific about this, right? We have an observation, right? There is a magnetic field on the Earth, and it has declination, inclination, and a strength, total field strength. And it varies all over the Earth, right? All three of those vary all over the Earth. And so that's the observation. So then we can make a hypothesis. And I hypothesize that the Earth is a globe, and that the magnetic field of the Earth is generated through a dynamo inside the liquid core of the Earth. Now, you may have a different hypothesis for flat Earth, whatever that is, right? And then, based on the hypothesis, I can make some predictions for different locations on the surface of the Earth. Likewise, you can make predictions of the magnetic field of the Earth based on different locations on the surface of the Earth, right? Now, I don't know how the flat Earth geologists do this. Certainly, you have references to the flat Earth geologists and how they do that. But I don't. You'd be the one to ask that. So I can say that according to the globe, here are what the predictions are for the inclination and the total field strength in Santiago and Punta Arenas, for example. So, and so can you, right?
Well, for that area, it would just be the same prediction, but that well, I wanted to go more into the science about it, but you real like the none of the predictions, like the mathematical model, like tied in with the globe model, um, map. They're not. That's not really proof of the scientific like theory of the globe magnet at the center, right?
That wasn't
Like
my, yeah.
whatever the inside of the globe Earth magnet is, like let's say it's just a huge like bar compass. Is that what it's called?
No,
Bar compass.
nope, that's not
What's
what it's
the
called.
whatever? Like just a straight or sorry, like a straight magnet. What is that, a bar magnet? Yeah, bar
A
magnet,
bar
right?
magnet, yeah, yeah. Nobody hypothesizes that for the globe.
No, exactly. But if it was a bar magnet, it'd be the same prediction for the math of where the declination, everything is, right?
If it was a bar magnet,
Yeah.
if it was a simple bar magnet, no. The magnetic field of the Earth is a bit more complicated than a simple bar magnet. You can somewhat estimate it using, I think, 11 bar magnets of different varying strengths and locations. So that's the level of precision that people are able to do using the globe to make predictions about the magnetic field strength, dip and inclination, inclination and declination at different points on the surface of the Earth. So the globe geographers are able to do that. So the flat Earth geographers, not geographers, geologists, sorry. Certainly you have tapped into them to get their predictions for
Actually,
the
I'm the
flat
working,
Earth magnetic field.
I'm the working, I'm the working geologist, historian, priest of flat Earth. I have to cover all these fields.
You are?
We're understaffed. We're understaffed. Um, so, but yeah, so like you wouldn't. So if let's just say the magnet like system was different and it was like a bar magnet, um, the you could still have all the declination, everything that all the different things you recorded at different areas, right? It's the same thing.
If it was just a bar magnet, well, like I
Whatever it
said,
was, like what
not a single.
you
If
guys
it
have.
was 11 bar magnets, I suppose you could hypothesize that. The problem is that bar magnets that would be embedded somewhere inside the surface of the Earth would
Yeah,
also
exactly.
then need
So,
to move because the magnetic field of the Earth moves around, and every 10
yeah,
years the world magnetic WMM, the world magnetic model, is updated every 10 years. Though in 2015 they did an out of cycle update because the magnetic field was moving so quickly.
right. So, but like you said, the the predictions and then the data you took at like Punta Arenas and different places that could still line up with like whatever the magnet theory is. So like doesn't mean your theory is correct that the places
The
that you went
dynamo,
to. Yeah, the magneto hydrodynamic dynamo. It's like
yeah.
so
Are you taking issue with that?
well, yeah, I have an issue with that theory for that. So the magnet, like, they actually tried replicating that in like a lab setting. They made like a big like iron like sphere with like moving liquid sodium or something, some other stuff.
Yeah, molten sodium in a dynamo. Yep, and it
Yeah, it
generated
only
a
lasted
magnetic field.
for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty cool. Very good confirmation of how a liquid metal can generate a magnetic dynamo. Really cool.
But yeah, but it wasn't like a static like dipole system where like there was like uh a stable north and south like position.
Did
It's
did
it's
you
moving, so
did you think there wasn't a north south to that magnetic field?
the one in that experiment.
Yeah.
Well, at times apparently there was like a multipolar system, so I think that means like more than two. I don't know if exactly how that works,
Okay. Maybe you
but
should maybe you should read up on it before you try to bring it up in a debate.
Yeah, look, I was actually Omnivore is the one that showed me that it was like University of Maryland's Dan Lathrope's experiment. Is that the one you're thinking of?
Uh, there's two in particular that I've read, and I don't know the author of any of them in particular. But
Yeah,
well,
but
yeah, like I said, the magnetic field of the Earth is better modeled as not one pole magnet, but as 11 poles, and that's you can there you can get in increasing precision with increasing detail, but you get diminishing returns. Of course, you know how that goes. That's in engineering, that's what you get. So
yeah, but I mean, but you agreed, like you said it's only like a couple seconds, or they had an actual dipole. So
I don't recall specifically how long it was active. It doesn't really matter how long it was active though. It was a confirmation that you can generate a magnetic field using a dynamo of liquid metal.
I mean, well, electromagnetism is one thing. So electricity does create magnetic fields. That's not the contention. Um,
But that
the
it
problem, the
wasn't
problem is
moving
our
charge doing that.
what?
But it wasn't electromagnetism that was doing it. Right? Electromagnetism is a moving charge generates a magnetic field, right? Like when you studied electrical engineering, this is what you studied, right? When you took your E&M class.
We don't have that in Flat Earth
You,
University.
I know. In fact, I have the Flat Earth University book, the hardcover of it. It's over there somewhere.
Hated, brother.
It was AI written by a fake Dr. Stephen Alonso. You know that? Are you a big fan of fake Dr. Stephen Alonso?
Never heard of him.
Well, he is the inventor of the Flat Earth University that you just referenced.
Oh, I was speaking like just kind of hypothetically. It wasn't a real university.
Oh,
But yeah. So the
all right.
the paper.
Did you have? I'm gonna open up my tab right now if you don't mind.
Tab of what? Eat beers.
No, tab.
Oh.
There you go.
But yeah, so that experiment they got it, I can read it. This one part I found where they're talking about the dipole, like not. I was trying to find out how long the dipole was lasting, like the actual north and south
Okay.
of this magnetic field created. They said the diffusive dipole decay is about a couple seconds. So that's literally like the best they could do is get a couple poles for a couple seconds, and it's moving around a lot. Sometimes it's multipolar, so that means more than two.
Yeah, probably not 11. It's a bit too much to expect for the early days of these dynamos.
Well,
But yeah,
you would agree that our north, you'd agree that our magnetic north is pretty much towards geographic north, right?
it's in the vicinity. It used to be much closer. I think it was actually over the landmass of Canada in 60s or 70s. I'm not sure. A friend of mine was a pilot in the 70s, and he flew up to Resolute, Canada. Like it was a huge deal for him. He's like, well, it's a thing for pilots to fly up to the magnetic North Pole. But now he's like, we can't do it as easily now because it's farther over the Arctic Ocean. So
Yeah, that's well. So let's say that's true. It's still near. It's near a location, and it doesn't change drastically. I mean, you guys
it
can say it changes. I've never.
it moves, yeah, it moves slowly. And like I said, between 2010 and 2015, it was moving so fast that they did an out of cycle update to the world magnetic model in 2015.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that this theory you guys have that it's moving liquid, at temperatures that shouldn't really be liquid.
What do you mean
Um,
at temperatures that really shouldn't be liquid?
well, actually, more my contention is I think with the inner core. The inner core, you guys have a solid at five to 6,000 degrees Celsius. Iron melts at like 2,000 degrees Celsius.
At what pressure?
So Yeah, well,
You didn't think about pressure, did you? Did you just look at did you just look at one atmosphere what temperature iron melts at, and you didn't look at significantly higher pressure what iron melts at? Oh,
that is
Q
the
up.
explanation for like that's the pressure keeping it solid, but the sun has more pressure obviously than the Earth's core, right? Because it's bigger, more gravitational.
Yeah, but much less iron too, as a proportion. Yeah,
With the sun, the pressure can't keep it solid, but with the Earth, it can.
but it's a different material too.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, so here's the question to you, right? So I appreciate then, QOP, that you have brought up excellent supporting evidence that a dynamo can generate a magnetic field, like is said to be what's inside the Earth. Oh,
yeah, and
I hold on. I've just been handed a mini cookie. It's so small. How come this cookie's so small? Wait, can I get some milk in this?
No.
My daughter's here, please.
Fine.
Thank you. Oh, I get the kitty.
Yeah.
Okay, come here, kitty. This
is
is
some type of tactic, bringing the kitty and deflect from my argument.
no. This is Gazelle. Oh, hold on. The dogs are on the floor here, so Gazelle's like freaking out. Hold on. No. Kitty. Here we go. Look at the camera. There you go. Meow, meow, meow. Yeah. So my daughter got a cat for Christmas. So. All right. So
snake eyes.
What's that?
Does it have the snake eyes, the slits?
The cat?
Yeah.
No, she doesn't. Oh. What? And she's
Remember
little.
the house cats have slits, and the lion cats, all the other cats have like the big round eyes, but the house cats have like lizard slits. It's fucking weird.
I don't know.
Hi, Gazelle.
Oh, super. All right. You want kitty back? Thank you. All right.
Hi, princess.
All right.
Do you want the puppies?
No, they can go. Okay, I was saying I was thanking you for bringing up evidence that a moving dynamo can generate a magnetic field. So the question then to you is since you're representing flat Earth, I'm representing the globe, and you've done my job for me. You've done some you've debated on my half basically. You've brought up evidence supporting the globe. Now, what is for flat Earth? What is the cause of the magnetic field of the Earth for flat Earth?
Well, we don't have to claim that's like that the magnetic the cause of the magnetism is in a liquid state, so we don't have a problem for demonstrating a stable north and south pole.
I didn't ask what it wasn't. I asked what it was. So what is the cause of the magnetic field on flat Earth? Is it a giant horseshoe magnet?
I can make up theories, but like that's not like very scientific to just make up theories.
Oh no, actually that's exactly what science is about. You mean a hypothesis, right? You make up a hypothesis. However you want to do it, you invent a hypothesis. You can dream it up, you can guess it, you can make an educated guess based on information and experience. That's a good way to do it. And then you go test it. So certainly in the 2,500 years that flat earthers have had since the globe has been the global leader in the shape of the Earth, what is the state of the art of flat Earth confirmation of the hypotheses of the cause of the magnetic field of the Earth?
I mean, there's old maps with like a mountain on it, which is kind of interesting. The Greeks said that like the northern area, they called it Hyperborea. That hyperboloid is like the center of like a magnetic field, and like even in your model that would be still the hyperboloid like going down the north. So either way, it kind of works with that. But there are older maps where like there's a lot of ancient like flat Earth cosmologies with like what look like a vortexual tornado, like the Indian ones. The Hindu ones have like a tornado kind of thing coming out. Mountains, all of it's like the same thing. That's like the vortex.
Okay, so do you think that there's a a mountain at the magnetic North Pole and that this mountain moves and nobody's seen it?
And I didn't really I didn't really grant that I believe the magnetic field's moving. I don't really check though, so there's no way of actually like confirming. But we're not really
It's
allowed
not.
to.
It's not a question. It's not a question about whether or not the magnetic field of the Earth is moving. It is moving. Denying things that are super obvious isn't a good look. I mean, you can try to deny that, but it will make you look ridiculous. So I'd recommend not doing it. So
I mean, maybe people like notice it, like even like with small scale, like things that they do, but seems like they most people wouldn't notice it if they're using compasses. How much has the declination changed like in our area or like in all areas like over the last like 10-20 years? Like you said in
well,
the 60s or something was different.
it changes enough that occasionally airport runways have to renumber because airport runways are based on the magnetic direction. Sorry, the true direction.
Is that
I think it's the true direction or the magnetic. Anyway, they've had to renumber runways because say the runway is 18, right? That means that it's 180 degrees is the angle of the runway. And so then if the magnetic field of the Earth shifts by 10 degrees, now that runway is now 17 or 19, right? So it changes enough that over the lifetime of a runway, it's had to change at least 10 degrees, so the runway has to be renumbered. That's enough.
right? But yeah, but so the declination lines changing doesn't really prove that the magnetic North Pole is actually moving. It just means that for sure, like if that is happening.
I just want to be sure I understand. Are you actually going to go here and you're going to try to claim that the magnetic field of the Earth doesn't move?
No, I didn't say anything. I don't look at a compass like precisely enough to notice any changes. I'm just saying, even if like whether or not that's happening, if it is happening, doesn't prove the magnetic north is moving. It just means that either the magnetic north is moving or the magnetic lines, the field is moving.
No,
It could still be the same.
it's there's no question. Let me just, there isn't a question about whether or not water makes you wet, and there isn't a question about whether or not the north magnetic pole and south magnetic pole move. They do. And you wouldn't want to go to such a ridiculous, desperate position to try to claim that the magnetic field doesn't move. That would be pretty ridiculous for you to try to take up that position. So I'll just save you that, save yourself from that, pretty bad defeat there.
I didn't say either way. I just said I haven't noticed it myself. Like I haven't checked, but it's not like exclusive to the globe model to one model that if the magnetic field is moving, like the field or the position of the north.
If it's not exclusive, then you do have an explanation for the magnetic field of the Earth for flat Earth and its movement. Because if you don't, then it is exclusive to the globe. Until you have really, honestly, until you have an empirically verified, scientifically backed cause for the movement, for the field and for the movement of the field, then it is exclusive evidence for the globe.
Would you say I have to replace? Well, I mean,
You need evidence-backed, scientific explanation, right? So that there's been science, there's been experiments, there's been some explanation using the known laws of physics and stuff like that for the movement for the existence of the field, for what causes it, and what causes the movement. Until you have those two things, then it absolutely is exclusive to the globe, because the globe does have those things and flat Earth doesn't yet. Unless you do have it and you're just holding out on me, playing hard to get.
no, there's a lot of explanations for what could be happening, and just making up hypotheses is not like doesn't really there's really no point to it. Like you're just claiming that it's only one option.
So the globe hasn't just made up hypotheses. The globe has empirically confirmed things, right? The empirically confirmed cause of the magnetic field of the Earth would be a dynamo of moving liquid metal. And you are the one that brought up the confirmation, the scientific confirmation that a moving liquid metal dynamo can cause a magnetic field. So
Yeah.
so there's one. Number two, because it's liquid, it moves and it changes position. Okay, so there's for the globe, there's the scientifically backed, evidence-based reason for the magnetic field's existence and its movement. So now, until your side, this is your side, right? The flat Earth, evidence-based, scientific cause of the field and cause of the movement has been empirically confirmed to exist in some manner, right? So you wouldn't suggest that it's a bar magnet because it moves. Because a bar magnet that's embedded inside the non-moving, the stationary Earth, maybe, I don't know if you think it's stationary or not, but you, right? Unless you, do you think that, just to be sure, do you think that the underneath the flat Earth, there's liquid rock?
I was actually, I had been thinking about that today about lava. So I think like all the mountains are like ancient buildings, so there might be like some crazy like tech that's been like kind of like collapsed on, and the pressure is causing what we experience as volcanoes.
I just got like this just migrate, just boom right there. Did you just say that you think the mountains are ancient buildings? Because
Aren't you? Wait. You're Christian. You're Christian, and then I'm not Christian.
Hold on a second.
I
gotta get it. Hold on.
All right. You're Christian though. It says that the Tower of Babel was 3 days walk in circumference in the Bible. You don't believe? It's so weird that I believe in more things in the Bible than Christians do, like usually.
All right. Where does it say that it's a 3 days walk in circumference? What chapter and verse? Let's look that up quick.
I have to have the verse memorized. It's your Bible.
I'm not the one that made the claim, though. That's how debates work. You make the claim, it's on you. Let's go here. Let's ask an AI, because I haven't heard that. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Where in the Bible does it give the dimensions of the Tower of Babel? There we go.
A little bit specific, it might not.
It's looking. It's searching. Let's see. The story appears in Genesis 11, where it says, "Come, let us build ourselves a city and a tower with its top in the heavens. With its top of the heavens, whose top may reach into the heaven." No verse in the Bible gives exact figures for the tower's size. Later non-biblical traditions, like the Book of Jubilees, speculate on heights, but those are not part of the canonical scriptures. So, Mr. You think you know the Bible better than me, I'm going to ask you again. Do you think the Bible says that the Tower of Babel is 3 days walk in its perimeter?
I'll look it up.
Maybe Sin Cleanser can bail you out here in the chat here. Maybe.
Okay, so I think this is Genesis 11:1-9. And the people journeyed together upon the plain, and for 3 days they walked about the tower they had built. The speech was one.
Okay, so they walked about it. That doesn't say they walked around it one time and it took 3 days, right?
I agree. This isn't the verse I read.
Okay.
Maybe the verse I read was a meme that wasn't accurate, or this one's not. Who knows? ChatGPT.
A meme that's inaccurate? Oh my gosh, that never happens.
Well, either way, the Tower of Babel says it reaches the sky. I mean, it's like a mountain, basically.
The sky. It doesn't say how big it was. And I'd say back in those days, back when I was a wee little child, right? A tall building was 3 stories. So how tall was it? Well, it was taller than the tallest building that they'd ever seen, which was,
Then do you think the flood was small? Was this just a little flood?
Hold on. Have you seen the musical Oklahoma?
No, I don't watch music.
So my dad loves that one. He loves Oklahoma. He was in it when I was a kid. He was in Oklahoma, and anyway, he loves it. In that that musical, there's a song where they sing about, I think, Oklahoma City. I don't know, some city where they got a skyscraper, and they say how tall the skyscraper is. All right, how tall is that skyscraper? Hold on. How high is the skyscraper in the musical Oklahoma? There we go. We'll find out. Oh, here we got Charles M.A. says it's in Josephus, which is not in the Bible. All right. How high is the skyscraper in the musical Oklahoma? It's searching. Come on, AI. All right. Yeah, guys, stop DMing QOP. It's distracting. You could just say it out loud here, too. He needs to focus. He's getting a little flustered right now. I'm just trying to have some fun with him, okay? He's a good guy. He's right. Let's just all be thankful that he's not Oakley. All right, everybody, just send him a DM right now saying, "I'm glad you're not Oakley." Thin Cleansers he's here to help you. He says go easy on him. All right. Oh my goodness, this AI is dragon. Okay. Polaris doesn't move and is the star rotation point. Says Meta AI. Well, Meta is wrong. That's amazing. All right. Well, there it is. In the musical Oklahoma, song Kansas City, sung by the character Will Parker. I didn't know this. He's excitedly describing the modern wonders he saw on a trip to Kansas City. And the lyrics go, they went and built a skyscraper 7 stories high, about as high as a building or to grow. There you go. Oklahoma, which I don't know, takes place in the 1800s maybe. 7-story skyscraper was pretty stinking high. So anyway, there we go. How high was it? We don't know. It doesn't say, but it certainly was not mountain height. It wasn't as high as, I don't know. Where do you live near mountains? I'm in Minnesota here. There's not a lot of mountains nearby, but I've been to.
Do you think they were exaggerating about the size of the flood then too?
I do. Yeah, I do.
So then it wasn't, so God wasn't that impressive.
I think the flood, it could be, some say it's just a metaphor, and others say it could have been just a regional flood. And I think the regional flood,
Christians do that a lot, just say things are metaphors.
well, you get a wide range. There's certainly a wide range of people with different opinions, because certainly the Bible has a lot of metaphors. When it says you'll ride on wings of eagles, you're not actually riding on wings of eagles, right? That's obviously a metaphor, right? And maybe there are some people that actually think that people grow wings of eagles, but I think for the most part we're in pretty safe category saying that it's very widely accepted that that's a metaphor. And on the other side of it, there are things that are pretty clearly not a metaphor. And then there's a bunch of things in between. So anyway.
Yeah, I think most of the Bible is literal.
But you don't
literal.
believe
I
it.
think there's more.
Interesting.
No, I don't believe that Jesus is the Son of God and he's like special.
Okay.
I think it's mostly literal.
Except for that part.
If it is true. Well, I take it like I don't know if it's like I think a lot of things might have probably happened, but when I read it, I wouldn't like claim anything as a metaphor. Like that seems like why would they write it down if it's just metaphorical?
Well, lots of reasons to write things down that are just metaphors. You can learn from metaphors and parables and hyperbolic statements and similes and things like that. So, is owning slaves a metaphor? It's a great question. That's a great question. It should, yeah, owning slaves, not cool. So, okay. So back to, I'm kind of getting the feeling that you don't have any idea what is the cause of the magnetic field of the Earth. So when I gave you that list of topics, and you chose the magnetic field of the Earth, you didn't have any ideas for your position. Because let me be clear, I'm here representing the globe, so I'm going to bring with me evidence for the globe, and you are here representing Team Flat, and so you would be the one bringing evidence for Flat Earth. So again, I gave you the option, you picked magnetic field of the Earth. So what Flat Earth related evidence did you bring for the magnetic field of the Earth?
Well, you guys don't have evidence of the liquid dynamo. You guys just claim that's what's going on.
So again, you must not have heard what I said. What evidence did you bring for Flat Earth? Don't talk about the globe, right? I don't need to talk about Flat Earth when I describe to you how the globe works, right? So you don't need to talk to me about the globe when you describe to me how Flat Earth works. Because you're not a glober, you're the Flat Earther. So don't talk about the globe, talk about Flat Earth. I want to learn from you, because Sin Cleanser here said that you're the up and coming. What did he say? He said you're the up and coming. Hold on, I gotta see it. Sin Cleanser, he's got your back here. Where did he go? Is up here. There it is. Go easy on Q-Op McToon. He's the next gen FE right there. Look at that. You're the next gen FE, according to Sin Cleanser. Now, Sin Cleanser, he's like 89 years old, I think. He's basically on his deathbed, and he's handing you the torch right now, just before he kicks the bucket. Is basically what's happening here. So, right. So Sin Cleanser has all the faith in you. So again,
bro, he's like, his mic is like vibrating. You need to
my mic
address it. No, Sin Cleanser is gonna talk if you keep talking about it.
No, he can talk after. We'll finish this up, and then Sin Cleanser can come in and he can get a thrashing too.
Yeah, and then I'll leave.
Yeah. Okay. So is it late for you? I don't know. I'm in Central Time Zone. Are you Eastern?
No, I don't want to hear Sin Cleanser's monologues tonight.
Oh, nobody wants to hear it. That's why his mom doesn't let him come upstairs. Do you know that? His mom is 113 years old, actually. She's still going strong. But she's like, no, you can't come upstairs. I don't want to hear your voice. So anyway, I don't know. I'm having fun. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of saddened that you didn't bring any evidence for Flat Earth, for the magnetic field of the Earth. You would bring what I would bring, right? You stole my thunder by citing the very thing that I was going to cite. I had it ready, right? I've got them ready to go in a folder. It's on my hard drive /2TB, because my first external hard drive was 2 terabytes. Now it's 61 terabytes. So /2TB Dropbox /flat/topics /magnetic field of the Earth. And then in there, I've got the papers. And you stole my thunder, and you cited one of the two. So that's what I would bring. I would bring evidence that a dynamo can generate the magnetic field of the Earth, which you already did. I would then bring, and that also is evidence that since it's liquid, that it can move. Right. So that's it. That's really it's killing two stones with one bird. So that's what I bring. Evidence for the magnetic field of the Earth that matches the globe. And so then you would bring your part, right? And you don't talk about the globe when you're bringing evidence for Flat Earth. You just bring evidence for Flat Earth. You say, here is what the state of the art science is, and the results of different experiments are that support a a magnetic field of the Earth that has, has these characteristics that on a flat Earth.
The width that doesn't want to last this long, dude. Holy shit.
No, I'm kind of just, what I'm actually doing here, Q Up, is I'm just kind of giving you a break because I could just push you for you to provide evidence. Tell you what, I'll do that. Bring forth the evidence.
Well, I haven't been to the North Pole. You guys haven't dug deeper than 7 miles, and you guys claim you know what the center is. So this is just a theory that you guys haven't seen. So the evidence of the center, you guys can't present that. You guys just claim it mathematically works. Even though when you try to demonstrate it, the thing lasted a couple seconds, and it had the poles shifting around a lot more than obviously our poles shift. But flat Earth doesn't claim exactly so the Earth being flat has nothing to do with what the theory for what the possible cause of the magnetic field is. So the Earth can be whatever shape, and there could be magnetic field because magnets can be in any shape. So I mean that's not really how you measure that. So it's not really tied to proving the Earth is flat or a globe. So I mean, and we don't have a problem. We don't have to claim we don't have to really claim there's a liquid dynamo causing the magnetic field. So we can just have a solid magnet, and you can get a solid magnet easy to hold a magnetic field with poles that are pretty much static. And if the magnetic field is moving a little bit, yeah, there's lots of things that cause the magnetic fields to move. So it doesn't have to the magnet itself doesn't have to be liquid for the field to move a little bit.
That it? So
yeah, I mean, pretty.
You chose the topic, but when I shut up and I didn't say a word, you didn't actually have one thing other than it could move. That was it. Okay. Do you want to move to the other topic?
Yeah, I just don't.
Are you ready?
Well, I mean, if they know so much about the Earth's core magnet, you'd think they'd be able to replicate one that lasts more than a couple of seconds. It's not
again. This is where you're misunderstanding how a debate works. You bring evidence for your position in a debate. You don't need to talk about the other side, right? You have a burden of proof to support your side, and you haven't done that.
Well, whatever.
Tell me what, if you can send me your address, you don't need to share with anybody. I'll send you a book. It's called The Debater's Guide. That goes. It's just a small book. I have it. It's in a stack over here. Talks about the roles of people in a debate, and I'll ship it to you on me, and it basically says, look, you have your claim, you state your claim, you bring the evidence for the claim, right? The supporting evidence, and then the warrant. This warrant would be the description of how the claim plus the evidence together, how they support each other to support the claim, right? And that's the warrant. And so it'll teach you how to do that. And to do that, you don't talk about the other side's evidence. You need to talk about your evidence. Anyway, I'm confused why you chose the topic.
I mean, we can go. I mean,
what? So, let me. Here's a little psychology. What? When you read that list of topics that I proposed, and you chose out of that list the magnetic field of the Earth, what were you thinking? Oh, here's what I'll do. What was the mindset you were in there?
Well, I don't think you're bringing anything either. So I'm not sure why you're think I'm not doing as well as you. You guys have a theory for what's causing the magnetism.
It's a confirmed hypothesis. Hold on. It's a hypothesis. Just a second, just to be clear, it's a hypothesis that's been empirically confirmed, and it's been repeated.
How's it been confirmed?
Because in the study that you cited on my behalf, you cited that a dynamo has been generated. A magnetic dynamo has been generated using moving liquid metal. And then there's another one. It's been done twice. It's probably been done more than that, but that's all that I've searched for. So it's been not just, done, but it's been repeated, right? Science is definitely awesome when it gets repeated, right? So it's not just one time, right? One time could be a fluke. Second time, well, that's pretty good, right? 2 flukes in a row by different people in different labs. It's a bit unfluky. How about that? It just made up unfluky. So anyway,
I wasn't claiming that you can't make a magnetic field with moving.
I know you didn't. I'm just saying.
Well,
I'm saying you're focusing on the wrong thing here, and this is what's always so. The psychology of this is so interesting, of the flat earther, that you voluntarily come to a debate where you don't actually have. Oh, I love that Northern Rebellion. Hold on a second. We got to get this up here. There we go. I don't like Bill Gates. I'm a Mac guy, so I think that's funny. Anyway, so you're just not getting cue up. You're not getting how a debate works. That you have your side to support. You have the burden of evidence for your side, and
we don't have a difficult time creating a magnetic field and showing like how there could be a magnetic field in a flat Earth. Like it's the same ways that it could be in a globe Earth. For some reason, you guys chose liquid metal.
How
you didn't really have.
We didn't choose, right? We hypothesized it was confirmed. But how is the magnetic field generated? Do you think it's a liquid, or do you think it's a bar magnet?
Everything makes magnetic fields, so it's not like hard. Like it's not like you don't. It's not.
Wait,
like...
did you just say everything makes magnetic fields?
Yeah, there's magnetic fields everywhere. There's just stronger and weaker ones.
Does this Sharpie? If I get a whole bunch of Sharpies, will it make a strong enough magnetic field? To like, if I just fill the entire center of the Earth, if we could have them not compressed together and turn into liquid and whatever, right? If we could would a bunch of Sharpies? No, they wouldn't. They're mostly plastic with right. They're just saying everything has a magnetic field. No, that's not really gonna save you here. So, it certainly, somebody could propose that it's a bar magnet and it's metal in some particular U shape, because there's two magnetic poles on the surface of the Earth, right?
Well, the south one where you guys claim is past the 60th degree where we can't travel to, so that's.
But you can travel to there. But you can.
We proved that Witsit didn't travel there.
No, you didn't. But you can go there. And if you want to go, and every couple of years, there's actually a ship that goes and measures the magnetic field of the Earth around the vicinity of the South Magnetic Pole. I think they launch from Australia, maybe Tasmania, and then they go and they chart the magnetic field there. You could go and be on that ship. You can volunteer. You could be like the guy that swabs the deck. They needed the deck swabber.
Let's get back on topic. Come on, we gotta.
Sin Cleanser couldn't resist.
No, just it's just
moderation.
You got
calm down, Sin Cleanser.
Shh. Get a grip, you guys. Come on.
Sin Cleanser, this is fun.
What's going on, Q? Wake up.
We're having fun here. All right. Anyway, all right. So I'll just take that as a concession. Okay. So how about we should go to the other topic here? Is that good for you? We're coming up on an hour here, so
magnetism is like, electromagnetism is also my claim for what gravity is. You don't want to.
Well, no, we did talk about that in our chatting. I said that's a pretty big topic that maybe if we do another round we should do, because I have a demonstration that I can show you. It's right here, but it's not ready. Hold on. I built a custom circuit board for it. And you don't want to have a discussion with me about electromagnetism causing the downward acceleration until I have the circuit board and everything ready to go. I mean, I have it. The actual it's in the circuit. This is just the breadboard. The circuit is in the drawer here. Things there, and my it deals with potentially a little bit of dangerous stuff. So I have some safety things. You know, when you do some things you run, a little trick is you run the actual supply through an old-fashioned light bulb. You know this, right? You know this trick? So you run through the light bulb the line, right? And then you just have a little socket, and then you run that out to whatever device you made. So it'd be the breadboard here, the circuit that I put on here. And then if it shorts out, you don't have sparks. You actually just light the light bulb up. And when the light bulb goes up, you know, oh crap, I got a short. So anyway, I've got the whole thing there. And so if we do that, I can set up the whole thing and we can test your hypothesis live on the air, but I don't have it ready to go today. It'll be awesome. Sin Cleanser will finish handing off the torch to you. He'll be so impressed.
I took it from Wits. It's not Sin Cleanser.
I know. I'm just saying that Sin Cleanser he'll love it so much that he will hand you the torch, and then he will feel comfortable in lying down in his bed that night to at his ripe old age of 89 years old to just fade off.
Fucking
It's a
Q
gay
up.
old
Get
man.
it right. Get it straight, Q up. Get it together, boy. Get it together. What are you doing? I'm not gonna be able to sleep.
Yeah, he don't go to sleep. Don't go to sleep yet. Sin Cleanser, he needs you still.
This is a nightmare. This is a fucking nightmare, Q up. Get it together, or you're out of here.
Oh,
It's actually a good
Your
topic.
server
Dang.
is fucking gone.
dang.
Get it together, you're gone.
He's gonna kick you off your own server, Q up. That's bold. All right. So yeah, let's do that. I think it'll be a really good one because I tried to get Witspit to debate me, and actually I created Leslie Rower. Do you know him? He helped me design these. I have the first version. This is the second version of the breadboard circuit board. And the first version used different components, and the ones I got didn't fit. I'm like, we got to redo it. So we redid it. So I actually gave Witspit the last night that we were in Punta Arenas. I gave him the smaller version of the breadboard, circuit board. I gave him one, and I'm like, here you go. You can have this. And he's looking at it like he doesn't, because he thinks he's so smart, right? And I handed it to him. He's like, what the heck is this? He had no idea what it was. But anybody that does understand electronics, I hand them this and they know immediately what it is. So anyway, let's do that. I think it'd be good. A pretty good topic. I'll get it set up and we can look at the whole thing, and I'll take down the green screen so that you can see like the terrible 70s paneling and see the whole setup that I have. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm down. So when's that
Okay.
documentary going to be out? I've been waiting for that.
I don't know. The thing is, so I talked with Will a little bit ago. He said, once you get the documentary done, then you decide what you're going to do with it. You can premiere it at like a movie place, like where like insiders go and watch a special viewing of different movies. And then that's one way to do it. Another is to just, I don't know how to shop it. I don't know. You shop it around, you find a buyer. The buyer will either purchase the whole thing or they'll buy it for a certain amount of time. So if you remember Behind the Curve was on Netflix, and everybody called it the Netflix documentary, but it wasn't owned by Netflix actually, and it wasn't done by Netflix. It was done by a group, and they sold it to Netflix for a certain amount of time. So Northern Rebellion coming in with the winners here. Nice. Now, why is Karen B? Is this Karen B on here?
Oh my god, that's my favorite picture of Witsit ever.
Is that Karen B over there on the bottom right? And then who's the ghost up on the hill? Do you know? All right, Northern Rebellion says yes, it's Karen B. But who's the ghost on the hill? So we got a potato on the left side here, followed by Bob Nodell, who's no longer with us. Why is Robbie Davidson on here? I don't know. He's a pretty cool guy. You should have a chat with him. And then of course Witspit, Mr. Ego there. Jaren. Why is Jaren there? Oh my gosh. Karen B. The problem with Karen B is
Q-Op, say something offensive. Q-Op, quick. Just say something offensive.
And then who's Mark Sargent, of course. Who's on the upper right? Who's on the upper right? Morgile? Oh my gosh. All right, if you don't know who the Morgile is, the Morgile used to be a regular on Globebusters back a while ago, and he has a serious drug problem, and he's always begging for money because, of course, having a massive drug problem, he never has enough money. All right.
Yeah, I just got I just saw some screenshots today of Dan the Waterman saying that Witsit's owes a lot of people money that he claimed he borrowed money from and he hasn't paid them back.
I would not doubt that for a second. He did a couple of those fundraisers back in the spring and summer.
He asked us for money for a backpack and a compass when he was in Punta Arenas.
Not just a compass, a gyro compass that he was going to buy at the local naval store, whatever, and then put in the backpack. Do you know how much a gyro compass weighs? It's hundreds of pounds. It's giant. It's a whole bunch of metal that spins inside of an enclosure, and you need to have a large power supply to it. Some of them require not just 200 volts. They need a significantly higher volts. I don't know how he's going to put that in.
I looked them up to see if I could buy them. You can't find them on eBay or anything.
No. A gyro compass is a specialty device that you put on a multi-million-dollar ship. So you don't go to eBay to buy a gyro compass.
Well, I didn't know how big they were. I mean,
they're huge. Because it's a giant bunch of metal that's spinning to form the gyroscope, right? And then the precession of the gyroscope, because of the rotation of the Earth, causes it to point north south, and that's how it knows.
You don't want to get into it.
Well, I'm just explaining the gyro compass.
You just triggered my trap card.
So how a Witspit wasn't going to be able to fit that in his backpack? We think it's pretty great that he thought he was going to buy.
He was asking for money for a normal compass. He wasn't trying to buy a gyro.
No, he did. He mentioned a gyro compass. He did a live stream and he said, I went to the store today and I got this backpack, because he didn't know that he could bring 2 carry-on items, even though he sat in the meeting where we talked about it. And then in our Telegram chat, Lizbeth said, here's the rules for the airlines. You can bring 2 carry-ons, a carry-on bag and a personal bag. And so when I went, I brought this as my personal bag. This is just the right size for a personal bag. And I bought for myself I just went to Walmart and I bought for myself a carry-on bag that had wheels and a handle. And I brought that on the plane with me too. So there you go. Anyway, but Witsit, he was just the luggage.
What did you say?
Witsit was the luggage.
The gyro compass. No, you said the gyro compass proves the spin of the Earth.
No, so the gyro compass, it's a gyroscope, and because of the rotation of the Earth, it causes the gyroscope to precess to point north south, and so that's how you know north south in a ship. And that, so then you've got repeater compasses that are on the deck, maybe on either side. So a quartermaster will go out and they'll use the gyro compass repeater that's over on the side of the deck outside to do, if they're going to do a dead reckoning, for example, or if they're going to look to get a bearing using the stars, because they still do that. So, they train on that so they can have more than one way to identify where they are. Anyway, so they'll use that to say, well, okay, so the gyro compass is telling us what's this direction. So I used to work with a guy that was a quartermaster.
Fucking retard, dude. You got it wrong. He's wrong. He said the compass points north-south. You don't even know how a gyro compass works. You're an idiot.
Oh, thanks, Electric. Anyway, so on the deck there, so my friend that was a quartermaster, they'd get a sextant. And sometimes he's like, well, we're doing Dead Reckoning. They'll actually put they'll lay the sextant sideways on the gyro compass and use it. They'll line it up with one of the directions there to get their angle to some other landmark. So anyway, that's, I don't know why we're off there.
We debate this a lot. I debate this with Jesse a lot, actually. You just claiming outright that it uses the spin of the Earth. That's like the theory, and the observation is what's going on with the drift of the gyro compass, which matches like the north. You can figure out which way north is from it.
Yeah,
but that doesn't prove the cause of the drift.
Oh,
like what's
was there some other cause that you thought was happening?
Well, it's like the same thing with like the magnetic field discussion. We're coming up with theories and models for like what could be causing it. Your guy's model only can be replicated, for a couple seconds. And you guys claim that just because it's like a begging the question thing, like it's just circular. The observation of the phenomena is the proof of the theory, because our
no. So here's how it works. Actually, you have a hypothesis. Earth is a globe and it's rotating, and then we can make predictions from that, and then we'll go test those predictions. So one of the predictions that you can make from Earth is a rotating globe is that a gyroscope will have a certain precession as the rotation of the Earth changes. So you can then test that hypothesis by looking at a gyro compass, for example, and seeing its measuring its response and seeing what it does. And then at the end you say, okay, well, it did or did not confirm the hypothesis, right? So there's no actual part of of true, like when you really get down to true science, you don't at the end ever say therefore proven, right? That's not it. That you say therefore falsified or therefore confirmed. The hypothesis was confirmed, but it's always provisional. Everything in science is always provisional. So a different explanation is always possible, and it's possible that was there was a problem with the experimental setup, the methodology, the understanding, all sorts of things. That's why repeatability is important too.
You're claiming that they figured out the globe model and then they like predicted that the gyro compass would do this, as if like that's the first time they ever looked at a gyro compass or some mechanism.
No. So no, in reality, what happened is that the Earth was determined to be a rotating globe millennia ago, centuries ago. And then using that knowledge, they said, well, let's build us an instrument that can determine north-south or determine the cardinal directions that works in a ship. And the problem with the ship, right, with wooden ships, magnetic compasses work. But inside a metal ship, because it's surrounded by metal, and a compass is what? What is the needle of a compass? Do you know this? Cue up. Do you know that the needle of a compass is
It's like a stone?
Magnet. The needle of a compass is a magnet. It's not. A lot of flat earthers, and you wouldn't be confused by this. You wouldn't be confused by this. Hold on.
Weren't the first compasses made of some type of stone?
Yeah, they were lodestones and things like that. But yes, they were also magnets. So they were naturally occurring magnets, and now people manufacture the magnets by you just take iron, right, and you can put it in a strong magnetic field, and you can then turn that iron into a magnet. And there's better ways to do it through heat and through other things like that. But that's not the important part. So you can, so a compass needle is a magnet. And so when you're inside of a large bunch of iron, that that magnetic needle on a compass is going to be pointing in different directions than the magnetic field of the Earth because you're surrounded by iron. So a magnetic compass is less useful in a big old metal ship. So that's why they needed something else than a magnetic way to be very precise about direction. That's why they said, well, let's use the fact that the Earth is a rotating sphere, and we can build ourselves use the precession effect of a gyroscope, and that should then always maintain itself pointing in a certain direction. We can use that then for our cardinal directions.
It just like it makes more sense with our theory that the sky is like a vortexual etheric sky, which is causing that precession, which would also align with the sky goes
What's
the same
the
direction as the Earth, like the Coriolis from the Earth is caused in the same direction as the sky is moving in the flat Earth model, and it makes more sense because like you got a ship rocking around, and you think the Earth spinning is gonna cause it to like precess in a specific angle at the continuously with the ship rocking all in different directions.
Yeah, so it's in a gimbal, right?
It makes more sense if it's like an etheric thing that's kind of connected to that metal.
So what is the name? What is the empirically confirmed force that is causing that to happen then from the etheric stuff that's like causing things to like happen? You said it makes more sense. I'd expect that you, in this making more sense, you would have scientifically backed evidence for it, right?
Sorry, can you rephrase? I got distracted when you said, I was not sure why you said the word.
Did somebody send you a DM? People, stop sending them DMs. Unless it's just to say how awesome he is, okay? Or no, unless it's to say, at least you're not Oakley. So the gyroscopic precession is a well-known thing. It's well understood. It exists. There's no, right? We can point to plenty of evidence of that existing. So that's the globe, right? Now the flat Earth, you said that there's some etheric vortexy thing that's maybe sort of like happening like up in the sky, and like it's somehow causing like some effect to like change the movement of like the gyro compass. So where is the empirically confirmed evidence of this etheric like force?
Well, it's like a theory. I mean, well, there's.
You mean a hypothesis? Do you mean it's a hypothesis?
Well, even in the globe model, the entire atmosphere is extremely like charged, right? There's floating water. There's lightning.
There's floating water. There's lightning.
Gradient.
Yeah. Okay.
An electrical gradient.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's no need like of proof for that. Like either way.
Yeah,
like,
I agree. There's a gradient. I agree. But in a ship, what's the ship made of?
Is it iron?
Metal, right? And what does metal do to electricity?
Yeah. It's like shields from the electricity.
It's a conductor.
Yeah.
And so the electric field of the air near the ship is grounded. So it's zero within the ship. It's zero because it's grounded. So inside the ship there is no electric field, and do you know where that gyro compass is? It's inside the ship, so it's grounded from the electrostatic gradient of the air. So that can't be it.
Well, I didn't claim that the electrostatic gradient of the air was causing the drift.
Okay. But what? Okay, then what is?
Something about the sky spinning, east to west. It's pulling everything in that direction slightly, and that's what you guys are picking up. That's what my theory is, and you looking at the gyro compass and saying that the thing we see happening is proof of your theory. That's just
let me just say, I didn't claim it was proof of a theory. I'd say it's confirmation of a hypothesis. Very big difference. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you say the word theory a lot of the time. I think you mean hypothesis when you say the word theory, because it's common parlance to use the word theory for
Well,
guess or hypothesis. But when we're talking science, and this is a debate about science, so we should use, you know, good terminology.
well, I think that comes from the fact that you guys call a lot, like you guys don't have proven like theories, so you guys are claiming that theory doesn't mean theory, but everyone uses the word theory in the way I'm using it.
Yeah. So when within the realm of science, right, we do use the word theory to refer to something, the description of how something happens that's been confirmed through many empirical experiments and can make predictions about things. So, for example, electromagnetic theory, the theory of electromagnetism, is what was used to design this calculator, right? The electronic circuits in here, this has a 4-bit CPU in it, right? And the 4-bit CPU in here, that's not all that different in the end from the 32-bit or 64-bit CPU in a modern computer or your phone, right? Same thing. Electromagnetic theory is what we use to design these things. So when we say electromagnetic theory, we don't mean guess or hypothesis. The electromagnetic theory is the well-confirmed explanation for how electromagnetism works, and we can use that to make predictions about the future. Right?
Yeah, so I mean that's a good kind of argument that the ship is like metal, so it's like limiting my cause, my theory's cause. But the problem is with all these things, you guys always use conductive materials when you do like, Cavendish or the pendulum, processing,
Yeah,
gyro compass.
it's good for a good
It's all
reason.
conductive materials. You guys should use like plastic or something so you can, I mean, if you want to like disprove, if you want to control for the variable of electromagnetism, you would have to use something like plastic, because it's like the least conductive.
So here's
And
the cool thing. Here's the cool
if it's
thing.
just Earth kinetic motion moving like a
Yeah.
pendulum and making it precess, you can have like a plastic pendulum.
Yeah. So
guys
cue
must
up.
always use-
Let's be clear on this. Since this is your hypothesis and not somebody else's, you would be the one to say, let's do that test. So you do a Cavendish type experiment using a non-conductive material and see if your hypothesis is correct.
Well,
Right? That's on you, right? Not us. Like we don't need to do that because we've already moved way past that.
well, I mean, you move past the scientific method. It's like controlling for variables. So
Yeah,
if you guys
we've done
never
that.
actually tested the hypothesis, and you guys can't claim you proved it. You can. The
Again,
model works good.
never claimed we proved it. Claimed it's been empirically confirmed. Be clear, right? The words we use are important. Been empirically confirmed. Yes. Many times. Yes. Repeated. Yes. Scientifically proven. I'm not claiming that. That's not really when people throw around the word proof. That's not really the right terminology to use when we're talking about science. So
Yeah, but if we just make like we reverse engineer the globe model and just grant you guys everything that you guys claim is happening, you just apply different effects for everything with the sky moving, causing kinetically like the kinematics are exactly the same, all the math, everything.
of
That's
what?
not
Wait, hold on. The math of what
of
is
everything.
the same?
Like the processing, everything we experience, the sky moving.
What do you mean it's exactly the same?
If you made
Exactly
a
the
model
same
like
as
that-
what?
What?
What kinematics are exactly the same? You're talking about kinematics for the globe and
We just take
something
kinematics,
else?
like we just claim that there's a different dynamic force for everything. That you can't disprove that by what you guys are doing as experiments, because you guys are just looking at mathematically how much like the gyro compass is, where it's pointing, how much it's processing.
Mhm.
So you
But
guys are just
but
looking at
we're
the math of the
referencing
laws,
but we're
the math of the
referencing
motion
empirically
matters. That's what you
confirmed
guys are looking at. You guys aren't controlling for your dynamic force.
what dynamic force do you think is
guys
not being
aren't-
controlled for?
Electromagnetics. You guys are claiming it's a theory, your theory, but you're not actually controlling for the variable of anything else. and proving, your
how
theory.
how would we control for electromagnetism? We would control for
either side. I
electromagnet.
think
Hold on, I'll answer it.
either you're-
Hold on, let me answer it. We would control for electromagnetism by grounding everything to the same ground. That's how we'd control for it.
No, because I mean, you can't really.
Do you know what that means? Right? If we're doing a torsion bar experiment and we've got two test masses and they're both conductive, though different materials, one metal, one steel, one nickel, one, right? There's different materials that have been used in different Cavendish and torsion bar measurements. They're all electrically grounded, so they're all at the same electrical potential. So we've controlled for that. So typically that means that they're at zero electrical potential, plus or minus, quantum effects. If that wasn't the case, if for somehow the grounding wasn't correct and it had a non-zero ground, say it had a negative charge of 100 volts, then both test masses would be at 100 volts. And according to Coulomb's law, what would happen then? If two objects have the same charge, what will happen according to Coulomb's law?
No idea.
They repel. Did you not know that?
No, and me not knowing that doesn't disprove my theory either. It's not how you control for the variables, but finding something I don't know.
Oh dear. Okay, let's go to the next topic. This is a little rough for you. So
Well, I was agreeing with what you said. So either one of either one of the parties, flat Earth or globe, has to do all these things with plastic. That's what I told Jesse. I told Jesse when we debate that, and he said I have to do it.
yeah, you do.
It's expensive to make it's
you have to do
expensive
it.
to make a fucking pendulum out of plastic, dude. You have to like.
But you're not.
Three-
I don't know where you're talking about a
ways.
pendulum. Are you talking about a Foucault pendulum, or are you talking about a Cavendish experiment?
Foucault. No,
There's-
Foucault.
there-
Well, all these things should be done in
So,
plastic. To
there
control
has
for, like,
been
what our theory is.
there has been a Foucault pendulum that's been done with a bowling ball. So there you go. That's been done. You can look that up. I don't know of any torsion bar experiments that have been done with non-conductive materials. So that would be on you. Yes, 100%. Because nobody has the hypothesis that there is something being induced on it because of electromagnetism. The reason why is because we can control for that easily by grounding them. So we can control for
That's not.
something happening up in the sky that is somehow like maybe moving, and there's like maybe etheric vortexes like doing things that only happen to metal and don't happen to plastic. We can control for electromagnetism by grounding everything. That's easy, super easy to do, trivially easy to do, basically.
I don't know. I mean, grounding gets rid of like some of the effects of like electricity, like within the things you're touching. But I mean, magnetism, like you can't really ground for magnetic effects.
That's
You can't
correct,
ground
but-
for electrostatic.
So how would you can ground for electrostatics. That's exactly what grounding does. It grounds for electrostatics. But you're correct. It would not ground. It would not reduce the effects of magnetism. And so how would you, if you had two test masses and you wanted to make sure that there wasn't a magnetic, force on that particular material, what would you do to control for that variable?
Use plastic, like I said.
Well, there's other ways. What other ways could you do?
If you have a different way, you can tell me.
Well, you would use a material that's, instead of ferromagnetic, you could use a material that's diamagnetic.
Still
Or-
magnetic, though. I don't
or
know. We don't know
paramagnetic.
the-
Right? Or you could demagnetize the metal. Do you know how to demagnetize metal?
Heat
Yeah,
it
he
up?
knows how to
Like,
do it. He
yeah,
just
that's
doesn't feel
cool.
like explaining it. He knows how to do it. He
Come
just doesn't feel like
on.
explaining it to you.
He doesn't need you to. I'm not gonna hang him up too long, Sin Cleanser.
Jesus.
right,
Come on, Q-Up. What's going on?
Calm down, Sin
Powerade.
Cleanser. I'm being nice. Yeah, drink a Powerade. I'm being nice. All right. So here's what you would do. You degauss them using the hysteresis effect. Does that mean anything to you?
Oh, no.
Okay. So I think maybe you're a little bit out of your depth here. If you don't know
Well, like I
what it
said,
means when I say to
more-
degauss using the hysteresis effect.
I mean, you saying phrases I don't know doesn't disprove my theory. You guys don't have control for these theories.
What it does is it shows that you're just kind of spitballing things here, and that's fine. That's fine to kind of spitball things, but it's possible for you to get more depth in this particular field. So, you're out of high school, right?
I look that young?
I don't know. I don't want to assume. Are you out of high school?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right, Sin Cleanser, pipe down there, Boomer. So, and did you take physics in high school?
Are we appealing to credentials?
No, I'm just asking because I just want to get your background so I know. Did you take physics?
A little bit. I mostly like study this stuff now because I'm interested in it.
Okay, so you wouldn't have taken it a little bit, like either you took the class or you didn't, because typically in the United States, physics is an optional class as a senior. The kind of the standard procession is that as a sophomore you take biology, as a junior you take chemistry, and then it's an optional class to take physics as a senior. There's lots of variations of that. I know this because I teach my kids. I homeschool my own kids, and we go through that same procession. Actually, I reversed the physics for my daughter here. Anyway, so some of these things are covered. I think hysteresis would probably be covered in physics in high school, though I think a lot of people would probably forget it if they didn't
Well, how does it
do it much.
How does it
So-
does it debunk anything I was saying? Like, what is the value of?
So it's how you could control, because you said maybe you're not controlling for magnetism. It's how you would control for magnetism of the test masses. So you would want to, number one, you'd want to use a material that ideally is a little less susceptible to having a magnetic field on it. Lead is a fantastic material because it's diamagnetic, not ferromagnetic. And it's piss poor at maintaining a magnetic field. And then if you really were concerned about it, then you would then degauss it. And you degauss it using the hysteresis effect. And I'll explain how it works. So when you have a magnetic field on a ferromagnetic, or any really, ferromagnetic really is what it is, material, but say a magnetic material, and you have you apply a north field to it, right? And then you take that away, and that leaves an induced north field, that direction, north-south, right? That north one direction field in that material, right? And then you bring that and you then induce another, the opposite direction, say, and then you take it away and it'll maintain that. But the hysteresis effect is pretty cool. And they use this to generate, to do magnetic core memory back in the 60s. So when you start applying a magnetic field, and you apply a little bit of a magnetic field and then take it away, it doesn't change the material. It keeps its previous orientation. You do it a little stronger magnetic field, take it away, still keeps its original orientation. And then there's a certain point where you apply it and then it flips. Like it resists, and then boom, it's like, all right, got it, I'll take it. So it accepts that and it flips the field, and now you've induced the field to go in the new direction, right? And so they draw it out where you apply it, and then it takes this big jump, and then it goes to the other side, right? That's this got this real steep slope to it. And then you reverse it. You go the other direction and you say, go this way, go this way. It doesn't take it. Then suddenly, boom, it takes it and it accepts that. And then it remembers, it maintains that field, and then it keeps going. So, right. So when you draw that out, it creates this chart where it's got these two kind of steep angles in the middle, kind of diagonal. And again, there's like this, the chart has this hole in the middle. That's the hysteresis graph. And so what you do is you take an alternating magnetic field and you apply it strong at first, and then you reduce it. And you can easily do that by just slowly bringing it away from that alternating magnetic field. And that's how you degauss something so that it doesn't have a magnetic field on it anymore. And so when tape players were all the rage and people were talking about their high-end Nakamichi tape player in the dorm room, they're like, it sounds better than a CD. It never did. The guy just thought it was awesome because he had a Nakamichi tape player. Anyway, you can, through the use of that tape player, you can sometimes induce a magnetic field on the tape heads. And so you need to degauss your tape heads occasionally. So one year for Christmas, because I thought I was going to be super cool because I was going to be an audiophile, but I'm not an audiophile. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I asked for Christmas for a degaussing thing for my tape player. Did it make any difference? Hell no, it didn't make any difference, but I thought it was awesome. There you go. What does all that mean? That's just how you degauss something using the hysteresis effect. You're welcome. You're welcome for the FE. Sin Cleanser, you're welcome too. Okay, so let's talk about the other topic, the bottom-up obstruction. How about that?
Sure.
Okay.
But will you concede you guys didn't control for electromagnetism?
No, not at all. We absolutely did. Oh, I'll give you an example. So if you look up mctune.net/G, if you search for right on there, it'll give you the paper. You can download it yourself. The BIPM measurements of the Newtonian constant of gravitation, G, has an actual error budget in it. And it talks about the material that they used, and it talks about how they degaussed that material so that they can control for electromagnetism. So there you go. There's an example.
I didn't grant that that's really enough to limit any electromagnetic effects on it. You claim that is, but
so,
I said to use plastic, and I don't think it was used.
So I would say, here's what I'd say. Number one, go read that. And if after reading that, you thought that they did not sufficiently control for the confounding variables because you think that there's something that they didn't do, then bring it back to me and we can discuss it. But I wouldn't want to, send it to you right now and expect you to speak on it at this moment.
Do you think they accounted for all electromagnetic effects?
I think they did. And their error budget was very well controlled. Yep. Very well controlled. So anyway, let's not make the mistake on this next topic that you did on the previous topic. Okay. So when I'm talking about my side, I'll only talk about the globe. And when you're talking about your side, what are you only talking about?
Well, I can debunk the.
No.
Debunking the
We're gonna do science here. So science, we're gonna have a hypothesis, and then we're gonna take that hypothesis and we're gonna make a prediction for it. I will supply the prediction for the globe, and you supply the prediction for flat Earth. Fair?
Well, it's the same predictions. The kinematics are the same, like I said.
There's no kinematics in the amount of bottom-up obstruction.
Yeah, there's.
You don't know what kinematics are.
Well, yeah, it's mostly applied to the math of motion, the amount of motion, but you can use that word.
The amount of motion when we're looking at something across water, maybe, and it's obstructed bottom up.
It's not a word created for what we're talking about, but it can be applied to anything because when you're just looking at the math of what you're observing versus the dynamics of what's causing it is two different things.
I'm sorry. There's no kinematics involved.
Not literally.
Can you You don't even know what kinematics are, QOP. Why are you? You're just saying that. You're just saying that.
I just told you I agree that it's not the correct way to use it.
All right, I'll let you retract using the word kinematics when you knew you shouldn't have. Okay.
No, I like using it.
But it's the wrong word.
Basically everything.
You're trying to witsit here, is what you're doing. Like Witspit likes to throw out the word kinematics, but he didn't know what it meant either. He couldn't do it either.
I know what I meant. I'm just saying I can use it for other things, and you can understand what I'm saying.
Oh dear me. Can you name any of the kinematic equations? Like,
I don't care about that. I'm not interested in the kinematics. That's why I'm saying I'm interested in the dynamics, and you're not proving what the cause is for all these things. You're just charting.
I'm doing science. I'm doing science here. I'm taking the hypothesis. I'm using the hypothesis to generate a prediction, and then compare the prediction to observation, to measurement, to reality. That's how you do science, right? And so I will do that, and I'll generate, because I'm the one representing globe, I'm the one that will present the globe prediction. And then you, being the one, team flat, you would provide the flat prediction. Right?
The prediction is the same with the the math you're looking at. The angles, all these mathematical data points are all, obviously we all experience the same thing, and the explanation for the cause of them is not proven by you just looking at them. That's circular. No,
I'm not claiming that. So the angles aren't the same because for the globe there's a curve, and you don't think there's a curve, so you can't say that the math is the same, because in the math for the globe there's a curve. And we're using trigonometry for a curve. And if you're going to use trigonometry for a curve for flat Earth, you're not using flat Earth, you're using the globe. And you're admitting the Earth is a globe in that usage of it. So you would need to not do that, because that would be a pretty instant fail for you. Sin Cleanser would then take that baton out of your hand and die clutching it to his chest tonight. And that would be very sad. His mom would be ever so sad.
I already kicked Sin Cleanser from the server.
What? No. No.
He spoke badly about the master.
Queue up. So you can't kick Sin Cleanser. All right.
But your mathematical model for the globe, and it's like dimensions, that's different than what we're seeing optically when we're looking at the horizon.
Once again, I will provide the prediction using the globe. Okay? And then at the end, when we're done, not at the beginning, at the end, we can see whether or not the globe prediction matches, whether or not the flat prediction matches.
I don't think the globe prediction doesn't match. I think the math is the same for all these things. That's why I'm trying to say that.
So you think the Earth is a globe then? If
we're talking about the math of the optical thing we're seeing, we're talking about the angles that we're seeing. We're not talking about the math of the globe. We're talking about the angles we're seeing. You're appropriating the drop, the bottom of obstruction.
Let me show you a little geometry. I think I got a diagram here for you.
Then draw stuff.
Oh, that's not it. That's not it. No. All right. Hey, puppy. Dog's sitting under the chair here. Don't want to crush her when I move. Okay. Hold on. I'll get. All right. So I'll post into your chat the formula that is used for the globe for the hidden height over distance. Okay.
I think the globe model was reverse engineered from our dome of vision, our spherical vision that we see. So everything, how it appears, is how they created the globe radius.
Okay.
And the size of the globe.
It doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. So here
I don't
is
disagree with where things
okay.
disappear bottom up, and
Okay,
the
so
math for all that is
but
obviously going to be accurate.
this math
That's just a
is
math. That's
using.
just a math of optics. So you're just claiming the dynamics of the optical thing we're seeing.
There's no
is globe
dynamics.
curvature.
There's no dynamics here either. There's no kinematics and there's
Yeah,
no
there's a
dynamics
cause, so there's
here.
a cause to what you're seeing.
There's no kinematics here and there's no dynamics here.
Just let me use those terms for this.
No, that's not the right terms. So we've got optics, we've got geometry. That's what we're using here. So if you're using this formula that I provided here, this is based on the geometry of a globe. That is not based on flat Earth geometry. So if you're using that, then you're conceding that the Earth is a globe if you're going to use that.
No, you want to steelman the flat Earth, you have to compare.
I don't need to steelman it. You steelman flat Earth.
Bro,
you provide the flat Earth geometry. And if your flat Earth geometry is actually the globe, then it's the globe, the wins.
You interrupt. I was halfway through a sentence.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't even remember what I was saying. Do you know what stultification is?
I don't know. You tell me.
It's what you're doing. You're stultifying. So what was I even saying before?
You were saying that you wanted to use the globe for the flat Earth prediction.
Yes. Yeah. So you're comparing a Euclidean globe without taking into account spherical optics with a Euclidean flat Earth and not taking into account spherical optics. So when you don't account for spherical optics, it matches the globe model better than a Euclidean flat Earth, which we don't see.
Interesting.
And if we were on a globe, we wouldn't see in Euclidean. We wouldn't have Euclidean optics either.
Okay.
So either way, this is like a straw man of like globe reality that doesn't exist. And flat Earth is definitely being straw man when you guys claim that this doesn't match flat Earth prediction.
Okay, I didn't make any claims about flat Earth. I'm asking you to do that. But anyway, I want to hear about how spherical optics works. And I've got a brand new piece of paper here so I can take some notes. Got my pen ready so I can learn from you how to apply spherical optics. Let's go.
I'll just reverse engineer your globe model. The drop over distance, just reappropriate the effect for optics, and it's the same formula.
I'm sorry, that didn't explain spherical optics. So what are spherical optics? I've never heard of this particular field of study before.
You don't think we have any hyperbolic vision that causes things to not appear in their true positions?
This is your stuff. I am the student. You are the master. Teach me about spherical optics.
So with your vision, there's 8 inches per mile squared of drop over distance caused by your vision and not by Earth curve.
Okay, so there's the claim. Okay, how does this work then? Well, how does the spherical optics make this happen?
I mean, there's a lot of things. There's no way of knowing which one of the things is the main cause. A lot of us, like some people in flat Earth, think in a vacuum flat Earth world with no atmosphere, you would see what globers think you should see on a flat Earth. I don't know about that. I don't know. I still think there would be a limit of vision in a vacuum, like in a vacuum world where you could just like look through a vacuum for like a infinite. But either way, so we don't live in a vacuum world. You guys claim there's standard refraction that you apply, so you guys don't even claim that light travels straight. So you can't draw straight lines for either model when you're trying to test to see which one's true, right?
All right. I'm sorry. I'm trying to take notes on how spherical optics works, and you haven't gotten there yet. So far, I've still got the same blank sheet.
I told you I reverse engineer your globe, and it's the same. It's just all the same math.
It sounds like something you're planning to do rather than something that you have done. Is this something you've not yet done? It's just something that you think you can do?
Well, what do you mean can? It's just where we see things. Where we see things is just where we see things, and how we see things is how we see. Why would I need to create a mod I don't even understand what you're asking. Like,
Why would you need to back up your claims with evidence? I don't know. That's silly.
well, there's no
Silly of me
you
to
guys
expect a
told me,
flat earther to do that. So
but there's no
silly.
the evidence. I can't bring different. Like, we're both looking at the horizon when we see things disappear bottom up. That's not evidence for either of us. Our theory.
Well, it like I covered before, you would go through you do an experiment to see, right? So you take the hypothesis. My hypothesis is that the Earth is a globe, and that there's a certain radius to the globe, and that at sea level, right? So we're not at we don't have topography in the way, that across the surface of water there will be a curve over distance, and based on the radius of that of the globe, and based on the conditions in the air, we will be able to see a certain distance. And so I can take that and I can say, oh, look, okay, let's take an object that's 47 kilometers away, and let's have the observer be 2.3 meters high. Right? Just spitballing numbers here, right? Now let's go farther. Let's say you're 40.3 kilometers away and the observer is 2.3 meters high. So then I can take that and I can say, okay, based on the geometry of a globe with a certain radius, based on the optics of light passing through the air with a nominal temperature gradient across the surface, and the input of the height and the distance, I can have a narrow range of how much of a distant object should be blocked, applying the geometry of the globe along it, right? All of those things. And then if it matched, then we would have confirmed my hypothesis. Okay, that this is how we do science. Similarly,
Well,
you would say with an object that's 40.3 kilometers away, a camera height of 2.3 meters high, whatever conditions you think affected, here is the optics, geometry, physics for what would cause a certain amount of obstruction over distance. And here's how we would predict that. And then at the end of that, we would say, okay, we both made a prediction. We both make a prediction.
We all know what. We're not predicting anything. We all know what we see at the horizon.
No.
People have seen
I
the
can
horizon
make
for way
I
longer
can
than the globe model was.
I can make a prediction doing this. I can make a prediction. I have the balls to do that. I will stand up and I'll say, here is my prediction for that distance, for that observer height. Here is the range of what we should expect for the bottom up obstruction. The question I have to every flat earther: does any flat earther have the balls to say, here is the flat earth geometry, optics, physics that predicts the amount of bottom up obstruction given these input values? Does any flat earther have that? Do any have balls? I don't think any do.
It's the same thing. I don't know why you think it would be different. It's
because when I apply the globe geometry, I'm using the globe. And if you use the globe,
you're doing math.
then-
Your math doesn't care about the reasons you think the math is happening. So
I'm
just
just
say-
doing science. If you're rejecting science, well, then I get it. I get that you would reject science.
We know how far you see based on how far you see. So it's all reverse engineered. Do you think that they
We
came up with this? You think they came up with a globe radius before or after they looked at the horizon and saw things disappear by?
I think that the radius of the Earth was not determined by looking at the horizon.
I'm not. That's not what I said. I said, do you think they looked at the horizon before they came up with the globe radius?
I think that people determined that the Earth was a globe, not knowing the radius, before measuring the radius. Yes, and of course it needs to be done in that order. You need to first hypothesize that the Earth is a globe before you can then use that to measure the radius of the globe.
So they saw things disappear bottom up before they came up with the globe radius.
Before they measured the radius, yes, they did. Yep, it was Aristotle is attributed as one of the earliest people to propose that the Earth is a globe because of that effect and several other effects. The
Right. So
another one being the shadow of the Earth on the moon during eclipse. By the way, okay.
All right, so you guys claiming it's a prediction when you saw the thing you're claiming to have predicted before you made the model. How
That's how you do
does the
science. That's exactly. You've
the model
described
was made after
you've
seeing the
described
horizon?
yeah, you've described how to do science. Yep, that's what you do.
It's
You
reverse
you
engineered of what you see, so it's not like
yeah,
the
that's
radius
exactly
came up
that's
before they looked, and then they looked for the first time and saw, oh, it matches
yeah,
what we thought the Earth's shape was.
yeah, that's how you do.
And the
You've
sun.
described the correct way to do science. So now, do that same thing for flat Earth.
The same thing. We
Go
saw
and
the
say
horizon before we tried to make the flat Earth model, and now we'll make the flat Earth model with optics that account for the horizon, having
okay,
things disappear bottom up at that
okay,
distance.
go ahead.
It's the same. What do you mean? Go ahead. It's the same thing.
It's not the same because for the globe, there's something in the way. Right? There's the geometry of something in the way. But for flat Earth, you don't have something in the way.
But that's
Right?
yeah, but you
The
guys don't see-
the geometry for flat Earth is there's nothing actually between the observer and the distant object. That's the
you don't
geometry
see-
for flat
you
Earth,
don't
right?
see this globe curvature. You just see things disappear.
We're
bottom
not
up.
no, we're just talking about flat Earth. How does the flat Earth work? Don't talk about the globe. We're just talking about flat Earth. How is it that you've got
Playing
a
the
person,
geometry of the curve.
you've got somebody on one side of the water, and then the flatness of the water, and then something on the opposite side, some 40 kilometers away, and there's nothing actually between them, is the flat Earth claim, because you don't think that the water is curving. So you've got the observer there, and
We don't see the water curving. We see a limit of vision.
if it was a limit of vision, then you wouldn't see the distant object at all, right? Because the limit of vision, right?
Wait, what?
Well, what is the limit of vision? How many miles?
Where we stop seeing is the limit of vision.
Okay, how far is it?
It depends how high you are.
Why would how far you can see be modified by how high you are?
Because half of your vision is the ground below you. If your horizon is along that line of the ground, then that's gonna make things disappear bottom up
Why?
way quicker.
Why?
Because when you lift your 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 line of sight, it makes it that even just perspective lines, they go obviously the angle, it goes farther with less of an angle to the ground. Have you heard of the Fresnel effect?
I don't believe anything called the Fresnel effect exists.
Really? What do you
Yeah.
think? So what do you think causes the mirage effect when you come around like above like over a road?
I would say it's definitely not called the Fresnel effect.
Yeah, it's called the Fresnel. You never heard of the Fresnel effect?
No, there's no such thing as the Fresnel effect.
Am I saying it wrong?
Yeah. It's Fresnel. You don't pronounce the S. Anyway, I'll ask you again.
Really, dude? I thought you just didn't know what it was. There is an S, so what do I care? It's not French. Wait, is the guy French?
I don't know. He could be Belgish because they don't like the S either.
Well, there's an S. So yeah, so there's all kinds of effects that are causing things to disappear.
Okay.
Before,
Okay.
you should,
And is that always present then? Regardless of the conditions, that's always present.
yeah, and it causes things in your in your horizon to disappear.
To disappear. So like you'd see like the top of the building and then the horizon, and then you just see nothing because it all disappeared in this area here. It's just nothing at all. It's just blankness in the area that disappeared. You said disappear. So if it disappeared, you don't see anything, right? Disappearing means you don't see it. So you'd see a blank area because that's what disappear means, right?
The farther lowest things are the first things that are going to disappear out of your dome of vision.
Why?
That's just how
Why?
optics works.
I
Because of perspective angles, because we don't see in straight line.
Source, trust me, bro. I'm not trusting you, bro. I need to know the actual empirically confirmed science and optics and physics that is causing this.
It's pretty easy to demonstrate on a small scale. I was actually going to set up my table to show like things disappearing bottom up on my table, but I didn't feel like I'm going to do it for like a video. I didn't feel like setting it up.
So when you do that, let me propose that you don't do the dishonest thing that flat earthers typically do. And I'll show you what
I don't think anyone.
I'll show you the dishonest thing that flat earthers typically do. So here's the top of the table, right? Now if you have an observer here and an object here, right? The surface is below the observer's eyes, right? And so the observer sees the surface. So when you're at the ocean and you're looking across the ocean at some distant building off, sometimes maybe, right? And you see the surface of the ocean, right? You don't see the edge of the ocean here. So when you set up the camera on your table, put the camera on top of the table. Don't put the camera to the side of the table below the table. Don't do that. That's dishonest. Do the same thing as happens when we're at the ocean. You're above the water. You see from right there all the way leading up to the distant object, you see the top of the water. So if you set it up so that you can't see the top of the table, then you set it up wrong in a different way than when we're at the ocean. Don't do it wrong.
That's way too high over like a little table, bro.
Then you can't do it.
If the lens is if the surface of the table intersects like straight through the middle of the lens, that's what you want to do, because then it shows that your line of sight is straight along the
make sure you can, as long as you can see the top of the surface of the table the whole time. Okay? Make sure you can see the top. If you cannot see the top of the table, I've seen many flat earth videos where you see the edge of the table and then you see a coin above it, but you don't see the surface of the table. At the ocean, you see the surface. Whatever you do, you need to replicate the same thing as we see at the ocean, the surface of the ocean.
With a table that's short, with a small table, you have to like bring
you can have the camera so that you can see the surface of the table. That's all I'm saying. That's all you need to do.
It's just to get
lower,
to get the bottom of
lower that.
To get bottom of obstruction, you need to bring it down like to the surface, like right at like right at the line of the surface.
So what you're saying is you need something to obstruct it. That's proof for the globe there. That's globe evidence.
No, because everything is dropping down either way. Even if you have the lens above the table, you're still going to see the top of whatever object get lower in the vision of the camera, the center of the view.
Yeah, that's the law of perspective. Yep. And it's an arc tangent relationship. It's an asymptote. It never crosses.
So if lines of perspective are going down, then the higher things that are closer are always going to be seen longer than the things that are farther and lower.
Do those lines of perspective cross?
Well, they with optics, you can't just draw. So like this is the problem. You guys are drawing like a Euclidean like perspective model.
Yep, as is appropriate. That's the appropriate way to do things.
No, it's not appropriate. We don't see in straight lines. That's why you guys apply standard refraction. We don't see in straight lines. You guys
refraction has nothing to do with whether or not we see in straight lines. Refraction actually bends the path of light. That has nothing to do with whether or not we see straight lines.
Yeah, so you can't draw the perspective line straight if you're saying the light is bending.
Do those perspective lines cross?
They all get to a certain point and then they all
do they on the other side, do they then diverge again?
No, they just converge in your vision.
Okay, so they don't cross. They don't cross. So if you have a flat surface and you have something that's above the flat surface, right? As it gets farther away, the gap between you know, the top of the object. Let's say it's the bottom of an object. You have
You're treating these
a
lines
lollipop.
like it's real, like
A lollipop.
space.
Let's say you have a lollipop.
space.
Hold on. You have a lollipop, right? So you got the stick. Ignore the stick. Then you got the lollipop at top, right? So you've got the surface and you've got the lollipop, and there's a gap between them. And as that lollipop gets farther and farther away, what happens to the gap here? It appears smaller. It doesn't actually get smaller, but it appears smaller. When does that appear to go negative, where the bottom of
There's
it?
no negative.
Okay.
Why are you saying there's no negative?
Okay, I just want to make sure there is no point at which the line that is the bottom of the lollipop goes to the other side of the line that is the surface, right?
This is what you guys are doing. This is what the globe
Okay,
model is. It's
got it.
treating everything as everything in its Euclidean position.
Yeah, it is.
And you see
Yeah,
things dropping and are actually dropping. When you just said perspective lines, even with what you think of perspective, which I think is like doesn't count for enough of it, you're still claiming that those lines are angling down.
yeah. So I'll put orthogonal view with perspective lines of the globe here, and there you go. There is the perspective lines of the globe, and so this is what is the way that you can apply the optics, geometry, and physics to predict what would be hidden with distance for the globe. And that's where that formula came from, is by applying, here's the formula again, is by applying that geometry to this equation here. So if you use that equation for flat Earth, then you're conceding that the surface is curving. That's what you're doing.
So like I said, the equation, the math stays the same, but the cause for it. So everything after the limit of vision, you guys are saying it's now like curved Earth behind it. That's what happened. That's what made it drop.
But there is no limit.
Your claim.
There is no limit of vision, actually.
That's your claim.
Yeah, and I can prove it.
And the only way to prove it is to go to space. So we can't go to
No.
space, so-
I can prove that the limit of vision is not 40 kilometers, for example. Yeah, tell you what, let's go through this. I'll show you here. Here is a building. It's a really cool building. It's called the Turning Torso. It's in Malmö, Sweden. See that? I just dropped it in chat there. Have you seen this building before? It's really cool.
It's really ugly brutalist architecture.
So the cool thing about it is that it has these different segments, and each segment has 5 rows of windows on them, and they're a distinctly different color, so you can see them. And because it's got these dividers between each of those segments, and each of those segments are rotated, you can distinguish between them. So you can eliminate, this is really cool, you can eliminate within a certain range mirroring, right? If there is, you could have a little bit of mirroring, but you can count the windows and you can count the segments. And so you can see, all right, well, there isn't a whole lot of mirroring happening there. So then you can say, well, you know what, this is a bad day because we're having a lot of optical effects, and so it makes a lot of confusion. So let's not do the observation today because we can't model that. So now the other cool thing about it is it's on the shore. So here's this picture
What does that have to do with what we're talking about?
Oh, you'll see. So here is you can see in this picture I just put in here, you can see the actual sea right there. It's a dock. It's taken from a dock, and so you can see that the building is like 1 or 2 meters. The base of it is 1 or 2 meters above sea level. So the top of it, the very topmost part of it, is 190 meters. And I'll put in the. This is just a diagram of it. This is like a 3D model of it. So the very top of it, there's this circular part of the top that's 190 meters. And that top little kind of eraser part at the top, that's about 10 meters. So the top of the main portion of it is about 180 meters, right? So this is really cool because now we have actual numbers that we can get from each of those segments and each of the floors. So here is what we're going to do. Somebody went to a spot that was 40.3 kilometers away and took a picture of it. It was pretty cool. This is where they were up here on the other side of the bay. It's near, you see there Copenhagen there, and then on the bottom right is Malmo. And I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. All right. So now, here's the challenge for both of us. Here's where we have a chance to do some science. Right? We can each then take these observations that are going to be made, and we can make a prediction from them. This is how we do science. Now, flat earthers are loath to do science because when you do science, you have to make a prediction, and then you live or die by that prediction. I'm very happy to do science because I'm happy to be held to the prediction. So the question is for you, Q Up, are you loath to do science?
I just said I would steal your math. It's the same math, bro. And this isn't science. This is math again.
This is science because in science you make a prediction based on your hypothesis. That includes math most of the time. Anything that's a kind of powerful prediction, powerful experiment is going to include math, right? You can do experiments that don't have math, but they're kind of basic. Generally, right? You can say, well, here's a prediction. If the Earth is a globe, then that requires that its shadow be curved. And so let's go make a observation to see if there's ever an opportunity for the Earth's shadow to be seen. Oh yeah, turns out there is. Turns out that it's curved. So that's not a lot of math there. There's a little application of geometry because a spherical object will always cast a circular shadow, but it's not very mathy. So anyway, so doing science almost always includes math, and better science typically has math. So that's where we're at. That's what we need to do at this point. The globe needs to make a prediction and flat Earth needs to make a prediction. And if your prediction uses globe geometry, you concede that the Earth is a globe.
Spherical optical geometry. It's not.
But you
what
can't.
We see is not reality.
But this is right here. I have your complete dissertation on spherical geometry or spherical optics right here. This is the complete unabridged dissertation from you of spherical optics.
I don't see anything on there.
Exactly.
Well, it's funny, but it's still not proof. So like you said, the math and science thing, like what's the science proving your cause for these things that are seen from, ground level, and you can't go to, you're not going to space and seeing a curve. So you're running
away. Yeah, you're running away from the science here. The science is you make a hypothesis, you compute the consequences of the hypothesis, and then you test that. You test it with you compare it to observation, to measurement, to reality. And so I have done that for the globe. I've taken the globe model. I've generated a hypothesis. I've computed the consequences of it. I have it ready to go. And I just need you to take the geometry, optics, physics of flat Earth and do it. And you've just put throughout some words saying, there is such thing as spherical optics, but this is all that you've produced so far in the field of spherical optics.
I said the drop rate is the same as your Earth curve rate.
But that's just, you've said it, but you didn't provide the optics for it. You said exists, but I don't know what they are.
We stopped seeing things at where my model claims you would stop seeing things, and things disappear bottom up at that point. So how would you prove either way?
Well, we would take your model and compute consequences based on your model, but your model is this. There is no model yet. You've just said things. You've said there exists spherical optics, but how do we apply it? Don't know.
I didn't say that.
Dang.
Dang,
that's not good. Yeah. All right. Well, we are over 2 hours here, and I have a bunch of super chats to read, and I think a bunch of people want to come in and have a after party, after show, and I'd love to have it in your server if you don't mind me sending out an invite to people. Is that good for you?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right. I don't wanna prematurely end either, as it's not my style to prematurely end, if you know what I mean.
That's not what I heard.
Who was talking? I don't know who might have told you, man. Anyway,
I'm a girl, my dude's a wife, and we just somehow make babies or whatever.
It was Witsit that said that.
you gotta send me that. You gotta send me that. Oh my gosh.
Did that play on your YouTube?
It did. It did. I love it. Hold on. I got a whole bunch.
You know,
I got poor guy doesn't know how it works. All right, hold on. I got my own soundboard. Here it is. Okay, hold on. Let me see if it makes it through to yours.
I'm a stupid flat earther, right? And I'm just a loser.
Did you hear that?
yeah, I think I heard that song.
Okay. I just want to make sure that came through. Now, Austin likes to talk about ether.
Ether is an immaterial background medium of pure potential. It cannot be quantified or measured intrinsically.
That's Ken Wheeler.
I know
That's
it.
verbatim Ken Wheeler.
I know, but it can't be measured. And what does that mean?
Ether's not science.
That means
Ain't
ether's not science.
I mean, I listen to Ken Wheeler too, but I'm not gonna just memorize the things he says and just parrot them like
Yeah, but
exactly like he says them.
but ether's not science.
Flat earthers are just ignorant.
Uh-oh. Man. What did we just do to Austin?
Wow, bro, you just made me look ridiculous.
Yes, we did.
I did used to vape.
He was just trying to hide it from Kai. We know that. Poor luggage. We call him luggage. He did you watch? All right, so you watched the first like day 3 of the trip when we were in Punta Arenas. Did you watch any of the others?
I'm like, it's on my watch later. They're really long, bro.
They are.
I'll get through them.
They are long. Okay. Let me see if I would you want to answer any questions if people have any for you, or do you want me to just not
Just gonna scattergun random arguments that they think are exclusive to the globe model.
Here you go. Addicted to globing says, much respect to QOP. Not many flat earthers will face the mighty tune. Oh, too kind. Whale Panty says, final official Flurp reset over under bet 2.98. I don't know what that means. That's an over under bet. And I don't gamble, so I don't know what that really means.
I only play roulette.
All right. Let's see. Jack Fetter says, I keep getting my hopes up with each new Flurf. Sadly disappointed again. It's a tough crowd, man. This one spent all his time on his name, not science. Tim Davidson says, and the Lord God said unto Gideon, take thou this book and put into every hotel nightstand. That's pretty good. NF says the magnetic field's moving. Yes, it even invert over eons, and a magnetic monopole have never been demonstrated. Now, you aren't claiming a magnetic monopole, are you?
Monopole.
Yeah,
I don't claim
yeah.
There is no such thing as a monopole.
Some flat earthers adamantly do. They're a bit.
Because they think the AE because they think there's no South Pole visible on the AE model. They think that it's a monopole because they just don't understand magnetism.
Yeah. Now you are of the opinion of the Gleason map, right?
To an extent, yeah, like the basic layout, yeah.
All right. And that's why you have to take the position of that you do on the trip to Antarctica, right?
No, actually, I was open to. I trusted Witsit a couple months before. I still I came to Earth Awakenings because of Witsit's videos. He had Earth Awakenings in the info, and then as I got to know him, I realized he wasn't as always logical as he seems sometimes. Um, and then he got it more and more suspicious as he got closer to leaving. At the beginning, I just thought they're either gonna trick him and make a put up a fake sun, or it happens and it's really weird and it doesn't make sense. But I didn't really have a bias to like just cope and make up paranoid reasons for it being not real. It just kind of
Yeah.
happened to be that way. That was all
Yeah.
very
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah. So it was funny because he was on Discord so often. Voice here. Hello.
Yeah, when
Oh,
Witsit
you're going to
wasn't
bed?
on,
Okay.
when Wits
Love you. Good night.
when Witsit
I
wasn't
don't love
on
you. Hold on. I'm
Discord,
talking to my wife.
when
I mean, I
Witsit-
love you as a brother. Okay. Okay. He's a flat earther.
so
I
when
don't.
Witsit was
I got to be careful.
when
All right.
when Witsit was on Discord, when he wasn't on Discord, doing damage control, Kai was on Discord, which so like there was like 24/7. They were like
Really?
commenting to
I
make
didn't.
excuses for
I didn't know that.
POV. That's where our name anti-truthers came from. She called us anti-truthers.
Oh.
She was like,
I did not know she was in Discord while he was
only
there.
after TFB, like the month
Oh,
after.
after, not during. Like, because when we were in Antarctica, he was in the. Remember when he said that there was 18 hours that he didn't have any Wi-Fi, but in reality he actually got it within about an hour, about the same time as the rest of us did. When we were at the shed, he was in the shed, laying under the table with his earbud in on Discord, and he fell asleep. And his phone fell out of his hand face up, and we could see Discord on his phone while he was sleeping there. And so you guys were chattering in his ear while he was snoozing away under the table in the
He wasn't
the
doing
shed.
any. He didn't take a video of the 24-hour sun. He was just talking to us on Discord the whole time.
Yeah,
He was in Antarctica. That makes a lot of sense.
that's why we call him luggage. He didn't plan
It's
anything.
supposed to be the reason we believe it, and he's like, if it was real, that would be.
Yeah, he had no clue what he was doing. We all got there. This is what's funny. We got there, and as soon as we got to the ship, because we got to Union Glacier, and they're like, okay, we got to give you an orientation. We're like, yeah, but we want to go set up. They're like, no, you got to eat first. An orientation. I'm like, oh, fine, okay. So orientation, and then we had a little bit of time. We played frisbee a little bit, and then we ate. And then they brought us over to the place. And then as soon as we got there, a flurry of activity. We were all doing stuff, right? We got the Starlink set up. We set up the cameras. I was helping Dave, and we're trying to get the EQ mount set up. And I was helping set up the gyronometer, and I set up I brought a little hockey puck thing that has little angled slots around the sides, so you could see that the sun was hitting this light sensitive paper. And I remember going into the shed. Everybody's outside working. I went into the shed to grab something, and Austin was in there just standing there, just like not knowing what to do. He was the only one not doing a thing, just standing there derping around. The rest of the time, I'm like, I got stuff to do. Went back outside. It was pretty crazy to think that he literally brought nothing to do. He brought his Insta360, and he walked it outside on a little short tripod. So he had a tripod that was like this big, right? And he brought it outside, he set it up, and then he went back out to it and brought it back inside because it wasn't working. Like, why wasn't it working? Because he didn't pull it out ahead of time and check it and make sure it worked and make sure it had batteries and batteries were charged and that he had a good memory card. Like, he got there, he's like, I don't have a memory card. He had to go buy a memory card. Why didn't you bring your own memory card? I brought 6 1 terabyte memory cards with. Here, I brought them in this little container here. This is the actual container I brought to Antarctica with the 1 terabyte memory cards. Right? Man, Sour Pounder is getting timed out here. What's going on here? Hold on. What did he say? I don't mind being mod, just don't abuse. If he insults people, then allow it in return. Thank you. I don't know what did Sour Pounder do that. I mean, I'm missing that. Anyway, be nice to Sour Pounder. I don't know if he needs it or not. Anyway, I brought 6 1 terabyte cards. Witspit didn't bring any. Oh, Dick is abusing his wrench. Is that it? Dick Wayne. You'll lose your wrench if you're going to time people out that you shouldn't be timing out. All right. Well, tell you what, Sour Pounder. That's how you get promoted to mod. Sorry, QOP. I'm distracted by that. Okay. Maddie Alat says, does he actually know which way the North Pole on a magnet actually faces? Maybe on the Earth? Like the magnetic, in the North, there is a magnetic pole. Is the pole that's in the magnetic North a North magnet or a South magnet?
You guys say it's a South. Well, I heard recently from Ken Wheeler actually that maybe you guys claim that it's a South Pole. I don't know what the difference really would be, honestly.
Yeah.
Or how you would claim to know.
Well, you'd know because a compass is an actual magnet, and the north end of the compass needle is the north end of the magnet, and north magnets are attracted to south magnets, right? So the magnetic pole that's actually in the north is the south magnetic pole, the south polarity of the pole. That's why the north end of the compass needle points that direction, because it's magnetic south. It's a nuance. So, let's see. Tim Davis says, as a man from the Asheville, North Carolina, he's right. Why do you think we have a chimney rock right next to the Batcave? I don't know what Tim Davidson is saying there. I mean, you're not from Asheville, North Carolina? He's not talking about you.
Yes, I am.
Oh, you are?
That is where I'm from.
Oh, all right. Is that known? Did you just reveal that for the first time?
Damn it, I've been doxxed. God damn it.
Okay.
Don't come to my property.
Okay.
That place.
I've been to Asheville. I've been to the big mansion there.
Me too.
What's it called? You know what it's called. You live there.
Yep, but I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, dang it, you jerk face. That's like when you're stumbling around with Fresnel. I guess it serves me right.
I can't believe you made me think that I had the word wrong or something, and I had it perfectly.
You're just pronouncing it the English way. Biltmore. Biltmore. We have the book. We have a plate. We have a freaking plate in the kitchen that says Biltmore that we bought there. Okay. Wicked Pizza says, what holds water is above the outside of dome? What holds the water up? I don't know if you're a dome.
Sorry, that's for me.
Yeah. What holds the water up? Yeah.
I don't even think Christians don't even take that literally. They usually say like a superfluid, like as a fluid. So.
Well, generally Christians don't think the earth is flat. So then you've got the religious flat earthers that have a varying bunch of cope explanations, and a single flat earther will propose different contradicting explanations for the dome at different times to get out of different corners they've painted themselves into. Sometimes they'll say that the sun is 3,000 miles above the earth. Sometimes they'll send pictures of claiming that the sun is inside the clouds. And then sometimes they'll they'll say, oh, well, here's an acrylic dome over the top of the Earth with a flashlight representing the sun outside the dome. It's outside, it's inside, it's in the clouds all at the same time. They all contradict each other. That's the third law of Flurf. Jim Daniels says, Dick Wayne, a lower tier construction worker, still whining about not knowing science. Good grief. That wasn't to you. Tim Davis says, Minnesota, where the wind blows when it's freezing cold, we'll sit and wash our breath and think about death. Minnesota, here I come. That sounds like a song that I've never heard before. Oh my goodness. CJ Lamro is a member, a Sheldon Cooper member. He's been a member for 18 months. I don't know if that's a super chat or that's an upgrade. Thank you very much, CJ Lamro. Tim Davidson says, you want it done in a lab. How big can the lab be? As big as the whole world? If yes, then there you go. Done in a lab. What do you think? Can the whole Earth be a lab? Oh, geez. Northern Rebellion is excellent at destroying flat Earth. So if you look at this diagram here, we're looking at the sun from the side, and he's saying, here's the illumination. But you know what you see from the side? You still see the sun. So while you're outside of the magical lampshade area, you still see the sun. Thank you, Northern Rebellion, for for destroying flat Earth. Nugs Automation says, Tim Davidson is Lord Illuminous Pooh? Rumor has it. Tim Davidson says yes. Lord Illuminous Pooh says no. Contradicting each other. Amazing. Nugs Automation says prove it. Tim Davidson says, shut up, Pooh, you're ruining it for me. Nugs says mind blown. Jack Fetter says the guy looks like a... Oh, hold on. This is a little mean. Did you go? Or you stopped your share?
I just turned my camera off.
Okay. I'll turn mine off too. Hold on. There you go.
No insults from your audience about what I look like unless that person shows his face.
Ooh, Jack Better. There you go. I'll come back to that, Jack Better. Lord Luna says, my girlfriend disappeared like 3 days ago. I think I'm going to go to the backyard and dig a big hole about it. Oh my goodness. He's joking. Don't take him seriously. Tim Davis says, the blind man walks into a bar. Well, he thinks. Chris Hoffman says, Flurfs because a hypothesis is a fallacy. Yes, that we do get that. Sometimes flat earthers think that stating a hypothesis is a fallacy. Can I invite? I'll grab a invite to your server if you don't mind.
Yeah, can you do that?
Yeah.
Or do I have to give it to you?
No, I think I can do it. There it is. I'll drop it in the chat there, and people can join. And as soon as I read these super chats, I'm going to wrap up this stream, and I'll start the next live stream, and we'll have it in your server at least for a bit. Chris Hoffman read that. Hugh Jars says, "Didn't you go to Antarctica and prove there's a 24-hour sun there? Hence, Flurfs need to explain that." They do. They do. They have all sorts of cope for that. Sean Hawkins says, a better joke. A blind guy walks into a wall. Jeez. Jack Better says something about... All right, hold on. I have to redo this. Hold on a second. Something about the sky spinning east to west. It's reloading. Just a second. Something about the Earth spinning east to west. It scrolled off. That's what my theory is. FFS, is this guy serious? Isn't it past his bedtime, mommy? You do look young, QOP. People think you look young. Like, I don't know what.
That's because flat earthers also understand correct nutrition and health.
Oh, is that the case? Well, you know the rumor about what flat earthers drink. Alyssum says he doesn't realize that he is a millennia behind. No, he doesn't.
I'm gonna lend you. Why you're telling these people that Aristophanes and Aristotle really figured out the Earth was a globe?
Yeah, they certainly did. Yeah, Aristotle.
With sticks and shadows. That was
Well, Aristotle.
crazy mind-bending experiment.
So Aristotle figured out that the Earth is a globe, among other people. And Eratosthenes is the first to get credit for correctly measuring the radius of it, or circumference. And whether or not Eratosthenes actually existed doesn't really matter, because anybody can do it today, any day of the year, as long as you have a clear sky. You can do it yourself. In fact, I did it when I was in Puerto Rico, and I correctly measured the radius of the Earth. Actually, I posted it on Facebook, and I didn't tell people I was in Puerto Rico, and people got the correct latitude, because you don't get the longitude from it, but you get the latitude from it. And so people are like, were you in Mexico? Were you in the East Coast or West Coast of Mexico? Were you in Hawaii? Because it's the same latitude about. And I'm like, nope, it's Puerto Rico. PJ says, control these variables, damn it. Jack Fetter says flat Earth so peaked in 1400. Actually, it peaked about 500 BC. Jack Fetter says, with all due respect, Toon really needs to only debate ranked opponents. Oh, man. Q-Op, you don't have a ranking yet, apparently. Will this get you on the board? You think? Q-Op. Like, will...
Are you asking that to me? I told you guys I defeated Witsit. I'm at the top of the leaderboard in Flat Earth now.
I'm saying that I don't think that Jack Fetter believes you. And you didn't debate Witspit on the topic of Flat Earth. So I don't think that counts. Just saying.
We agree on Flat Earth.
Alyssum says, Toon explains very basic concepts. Flurf, what? Green Bull says 6 years. What a crazy ride it's been. Yes, Green Bull's been a member for 72 months. Amazing. In fact, in April is the 7-year anniversary of the monetization of my channel. My very first monetized stream was April 1st of 2019. Jack Fetter says, but I said kinematics. Did you not hear me? Jack Fetter again says, just let me use those terms for this. I'm dead. That was pretty funny, Q-Up. I liked that part. PJ saying to me, apparently, says, you literally losing the debate, bro. Earth is Life says, if Earth was curved, would buildings be obstructed bottom up over the ocean? Well, that's a good question. Yes, they would. If the Earth were curved, then bottom up obstruction would be a necessary thing. Robert Silverman has Witspit's. Oh my goodness. Witspit's exhibit from Mount Rushmore. Where did this come from? This is on a floor somewhere. It's like ye oldie 1960s floor there. Crazy. Evil Producer 1 says, MC2, I think we have a new top left contender. No. I'm backing somebody else. Q-Op, you are not my backer. I'm not backing you for top left this year. I mean, I don't want to say that you're not a worthy contender. You are a worthy contender, but there's somebody else worthier. Alyssum says, Cations all over. Jack Fetter says, tried to show my cat how to use a leaf blower. The look on his face was similar to Q-Op. He didn't even go to kinematics. Hashtag C in school. Oh, the Uniquer says the only thing worse than flat earther fraud is Somalian fraud. Oh, dang. That's all the rage in Minnesota. Evil Producer 1 says, for someone not parroting, Q-Op sure asks for crackers. You know, I'll say, Q-Op, you didn't just parrot all the time. It was a refreshing. Heinz says, how many flirts do you need to change a light bulb? I don't know. Will he answer? Donald Trump's Bone Spurs says, tab, cans. The uniquer says, the unquirer, sorry, says, did these first attend the Somalian daycare quality Leering Center of Minnesota? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love the Quality Leering Center. Oh, they couldn't even spell learning right. Nick N says, I got fired because I kept asking clients if they wanted smoking or non-smoking. Apparently the correct terms are cremation and burial. All right. Are people showing up in your server there? I put the link in again, so if they want to come in. Tim Davidson says, he said mountains are buildings. And I said, yeah, we have a Chimney Rock. Oh, I get it, Tim. Chimney Rock, North Carolina. Okay, I got it. There's the context I was missing. Astrocate says, Q-Up did great. Better luck next time, Tune. Dang, Q-Up. You got a fan there. Jack Vetter says, good nutrition and health. JJ, PJ, Arwen, characters from Middle Earth. Algorithm says, if optics are curved and the Earth looks flat, does that mean the Earth is curved? Oh, man, it kind of does. Tim Davidson says, anytime I see a Gen Z person really enjoying themselves, I like to look around and see who's filming them. That's good. Q-Up, are you Gen Z? Do you think you're Gen Z, or are you Gen Alpha?
I'm not sure what each is.
You're not sure. All right. Maybe somebody can post the ranges, and then he can it'll help him figure out his birth dates. Earth is Life says, question.
Like I said, my health and nutrition routine is like, perfect. So you wouldn't be able to. I'm like a vampire basically.
Oh, so you're actually older than Sin Cleanser. You're older than 89. Yeah, sure. You're older than 89.
No, but I'm older than Sin Cleanser.
Wow. All right. Earth is Life says, question for Q-Op. If the Earth was curved, would buildings be obstructed bottom up over water?
Well, so I've thought about this. So it'd be weird if the radius was what you guys claim, then you'd have two things causing bottom up obstruction. So I think it would happen possibly faster, or you wouldn't. I don't know. It's weird to think about, but if the Earth was bigger than you guys claim, then you get the bottom up obstruction before the Earth curve would cause the obstruction.
I'll just tell you, because I didn't get to it. Every single time, we see just the right amount when we actually apply the globe optics and geometry. Every single time, with no exceptions.
Said that they saw the bottom up obstruction before they figured out the radius that they wanted to make with the model. So
yeah, you have to do it in that order. There's no other order to do it in.
It's not a prediction. It's a post-diction.
No. It's not a post-diction because the radius was unknown. So first, step one, figure out the shape of the Earth using non-mathematical rigor, right? By looking at things like bottom-up obstruction and the shadow of the Earth on the moon. Okay, got it. And the fact that the sun sets, right? So, okay, good. We figured out that the Earth is a globe. What's the radius of the globe? Well, we have to begin with the Earth being a globe to go figure out the radius of the globe. And that's what Eratosthenes did. Now, you could take Eratosthenes' measurements and say, let's pretend for a second that the Earth isn't, right? And go apply the geometry for flat Earth. And you get a certain elevation of the sun over flat Earth. And then you could do that in different locations today because you can do it any day of the year as long as you have a sunny day. And then you can measure the angle to the sun. And then you can hypothesize if the Earth is flat, and then just apply a simple solving of a right triangle to determine how high the sun is. And if it's the same elevation for every observer, then you have confirmation of flatness. But if you have a different elevation of the sun for different observers at different latitudes, then that's a falsification of flat Earth. Similarly,
you treat it like a flat Earth where there's no optical spherical vision where everything is Euclidean. Like it isn't in the globe either.
Everything is Euclidean in the globe.
No, you guys have standard refraction.
Standard refraction is Euclidean as well.
Why that?
It is Euclidean.
What?
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
It does. But queue up. Remember, I don't want to, I'm not to be mean, but I have a better understanding of math than you do. Okay.
I agree that I'm not
Okay.
interested in
Okay.
that. Dude.
So
I literally,
but
I
you're
literally
you're
didn't go to,
making
like-
but you're making claims about math to a person that you say knows
No,
math
this is
better than you.
Well, I like
Geometry.
geometry? No, I don't. Yeah, I don't really consider geometry the kind of math that I'm not good at.
Queue up. Queue
I
up.
don't even think
Geometry is a
geometry is math.
subset of math. Queue up.
Yeah, I know, but it's not really what I was thinking. But
And
All right.
similarly to queue up, I know geometry significantly better than you. Not as an insult, not to brag, right? Just as this is a fact. I'm a math teacher. I'm a geometry teacher, right? And I know the topic better than you, so I could tell you when we look at things, our vision is Euclidean. And the fact that there exists refraction that causes the path of light to bend does not cause our vision to not be Euclidean. Right? There are curves in Euclidean geometry. Okay, Earthly Skeptic says, we need 3 flirps to change the bulb. 1 to hold it as the firmament rotates. 1 to scream pressure container antecedent, and 1 to block all the globers. Oh my goodness. Real Arnold says, Sin Cleanser was his last lifeline, and Q Up took him out with the steel chair. What a plot twist. The crowd went wild. I don't know why you kicked him. That was terrible. All right. MK Ultra says, hypothesis for flat earth, crickets. I think 1 more, and it's a little mean. I'm going to not say it out to your server there. Hold on. Alyssum says, let me get this straight. Oh, no, this wasn't mean. Alyssum says, let me get this straight. Flat Earth has 0 explanations for anything, and while the globe predicts matches reality 100% of the time, but flat Earth is a possibility? Yeah, nah. Hold on. There's one. There's one I missed. Okay, here it is. I won't send it to you. Jack Vetter says, this guy looks like a child that just woke up from a nap. Is this his A game? I guess he blew his load on his cutesy name. Palindrome. All right, Q-Op. I'm going to wrap up my my live stream here, and then I'm going to switch to the after show, and then we'll open up and everybody can chat. How about that?
all
right. Anyway, I'll mute myself for a second and then come back. All right. Rick Tibit says, first can't cope with Eratosthenes or maths. And silly puts maths plural. Who does that? Okay, I'm going to here, let me switch the scene so you don't see there. Here we go. All right. Hello, everybody. Oh yeah, my camera's in a different spot because the cat Gazelle jumped up on here. So right here, you can't see it. There's a piece of wood sticking out here, and that holds up the teleprompter, and I don't have the teleprompter on at the moment. But the cat thought it was a good place to stand, and this is just you can see it's not very stable. It's not a very stable thing. The cat jumps right there and then tips the camera forward, and it broke. Where is it? It broke this. Broke. This is the thing that the camera sits on, and it broke right here. This thing, and so this is what the camera sat on for years, right there.
I did used to vape.
Queue up. Anyway, that was queue up. I'm still in the Discord server, so anyway, I'm gonna move to the next one here, but I need to switch it so that redirect.
Well, did you hit him with your good science there, queue up?
I'm gonna deafen myself so I can't hear it. All right, so there's an after show coming. There it is. I'm going to studio. So remember, I'll put the link in again. You can all jump in and join the after show on his server. He'll be so tickled. He thinks he's the next the next flat earth leader. It's so funny. They're so funny. Public. Start time. What time is it? I'll start at 10:50. There you go. All right, so the video is live, and I'm gonna wrap it up. Everybody, thank you so much for coming along. Be sure to pop into. I mean, if you stay here, you can watch the after show. If you want to participate in the after show, then you can jump onto the server there, and it'll be a fun time will be had by all. I'm gonna just do a quick outro like this. This right here. See that? That's the outro. Everybody, thank you so much. We'll see you in a second.